is on this one. If you're in a hub group, put it towards the group. Josie, start self-laughing. There you go. It's good. Nice.
Michael Mullivan, Mason Dinker. Eddie De La Cueva.
Hey, let's get started here. Welcome. And David, we just need juice for this computer at some point. Okay. Hey, I just want you to know I had a kind of an epiphany this morning before we started appreciation. So when I ran one of my first management trainings as a new division manager, I was 22, 23 years old, and we had 40 people at our first prep, right? So 42 total at general session. We didn't have a next level. We have 32 just in next level. That's pretty cool, right? So just to see where we've come. Erica made the comment, wow, it's just so different in the division that she's in, which is Trey Harris's. And I just said, there's no division. If you're going to compare, no division is going to be like ours, just like no division is going to be like Coastal, just like, you go down the bean row. You could insert the, where the Gamboa's commentary. You could insert also that they're just getting started 18 months into it, right? This is their second or third summer with a new division manager. And so, remembering where you came from, I think is really important. This is also really interesting. We had a DVM meeting last week in Dallas where the #1 division manager in the company, his name is Greg Strine, he's out of Chicago. They have, if you add Florida United altogether, they have 22 offices. Okay, they have 31 or 29, so they're gigantic. And we talked about how many people are in the prep, and his prep. Our first prep today will have, with virtual and people who are making it up excused, probably in the vicinity of 80 to 90, right? And his first prep had about 110. So as much as we can say, wow, we've come a long way, that I also want you to know, wow, wow. I just said, wow. We have a lot to look forward to. And I believe next year we can have that 120 in our first prep with probably 40, maybe 50 people next level, which is really cool. And for the umpteenth year in a row, right, at our national conference, I'll be giving the message on developing championship division culture. And what's so exciting about that message is all I have to do is just talk about what we do at preps, talk about what we do so naturally. And so if you're thinking about 2019 and we talk about scaling, boys and girls, it's alive and in effect. So with that being said, let's get started with a quick what's hot, what do you appreciate? And let's do this. What's hot, what do you appreciate? And biggest TLA moment so far since you've been back to school. TLA moment means Jeremy Williams sends me a message. He's in his class. It's a 200 level intro class to something, and they talked about situational leadership. I had another TLA member. I forgot who it was. There's so many. They sent the 4-quadrant grid from Mike Abramowitz's public speaking message. It said, "Oh, is this from so-and-so or from Mike Abramowitz," right? And so you're seeing all these TLA moments, or being organized and being able to tackle on more because of your Cutco vector training, if you will. So we'll start with Mila. What's hot, what do you appreciate? And we'll start with biggest TLA moment. We'll go quickly.
So what's hot is my parents get home from Venice tomorrow.
A little louder for everyone.
She is that I appreciate quality time with my family while I'm home. And then my biggest TLA moment this far has been people's surprising reactions every time I mention my involvement on campus and my work and just
on how much you're doing.
Yeah, they're shocked.
Nice. Giovanni.
What's hot is I got to spend some quality time with family yesterday. That's very hot. I appreciate family and circle of influence. And biggest TLA moment is probably my roommates. First of all, getting curious about what I've been doing these past 2 years, and then asking yo, bro, you're missing a game day. Why are you doing that? And just being able to provide clarity and being able to say no.
Yeah. Did you say yo, bro, and explain why?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's hot is my best friend's baby showers today. I appreciate my parents and their support. Biggest TLA moment so far since I've been haven't started school yet would just be with my friends, when they're going through something. It's I have I just can give them like quotes from the 4 agreements and stuff like that, and they're like, "Wow, where'd you
And
learn
then they
that?"
tell you shut the hell up, right?
Yeah, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, you should read that."
Good. Okay. Come on, Miss Lauren, with the beautiful brochet. What do you call it?
Bro.
Ladies, what is it called when you have a fancy pin? A brooch, brochet, or brioche bun? Brioche bun. Josie says brioche bun. Brioche bun.
Oh, okay, I guess that's it. So what's hot, I would say, is just this is like my first NLG prep, so it's cool to see the transition from last year to this year. What I appreciate is just my family, and then my biggest TLA moment is just not only planning like my weeks and just my month, but my entire fall semester.
And being able to what?
Let go.
Let go and delegate. Love it.
All right, so what's hot is I'm learning German for round 2 when we travel back up there. What I appreciate is Callie's here somewhere outside right now. And
Eating the carpet.
eating the carpet again.
Oh, puppy.
Well, she's a year old. So she's still a puppy. She's only
Let's go!
Oh, sorry. Biggest TLA moment would again be being the ability to plan and say no to things.
Very nice. Welcome, Callie. David?
What's out right now? This TLA prep, we're excited to see how much our development is able to grow. Learn a lot more for this time around as well. What I appreciate is the effort put together by my current staff, because we're working hard to get things rolling in the office.
All right, getting it rolling. David Delgado, round 2, full PSM. Let's go to the virtuals. We'll go to Nefti, Josie, and then we'll go to Mila.
I was able to get my tonsil removal surgery postponed, so like I was able to be here for like virtual. What I appreciate is my circle of influence, and biggest TLA moment so far is just planning everything. So
Okay.
like whenever my professors like say that we have like an assignment or something, like I take out my plan and like give me space.
Now, what face would that be, though? My God, you're organized. Like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Basically.
surprise. Okay, let's go to Josie, then Grant.
Okay, so what's hot is I'm running our staffer tomorrow in the COLA office. What I appreciate is football. And biggest TLA moment is this past week, everyone has been asking me what I'm doing for the game. And I tell them I'm not going to the game. I explain branch prep and what I'm doing this upcoming summer. And everyone's just doesn't have their life together, I guess. So making me realize how much the
I don't want to say not, that's the wrong word. You're so vigilant about your schedule that it's almost too much. You might as well burn your schedule. So there's a give and take, but most people go the other way where there's absolutely no sense of organization. So to your point. Cool. Thank you, Christina. David, how about you? What do you appreciate?
For me, what's hot is so what's hot is my trip to San Francisco. Was really hot, and I appreciate Patricia for running the office while I was gone and let me take away.
Outstanding. Did we get through all the hubs already?
Dude.
Is Tally left? I know we had a power outage. Tally, you're up, right?
No. Yep.
All right, Tally, let's start with Mr. Sullivan. They go left to right.
So as hot as classes, all my classes are looking good. Being organized is great with my planner that I got at COC. I appreciate being on this call. Next little group, pretty awesome. Biggest TLA moment is for agreements, which is awesome.
It is awesome, and I can't wait to continue to read with you guys because I made a commitment. I want to read with you guys this semester. Cool. Mason.
What's hot is living on my own up here. It's pretty sweet. It's different. I appreciate
Were you gonna say freedom? You should have said freedom like Alex does. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. What I appreciate, next level group. My biggest TLA moment is I never planned more than a week out in advance. So, and I have like months ahead.
It's exciting. Congrats. Miss Kirsten, you're up.
What's hot is getting started to this day. I'm super excited for this weekend and being here and running on today. What I appreciate are my laser calls with Jeff and going so far is my advanced professor asked me to stay back after class to ask me how I know so much already because it was only the first day.
And what class was it?
Advanced sales.
All right, that's exciting. De las Cuevas.
What's hot? Everything, honestly, like every
so hot.
Just it's lit right now. It's inferno. But like I don't know, school's going well. Organizations are kicking off. Everyone seems like everyone's on top of their stuff. It's all pretty hot. What I appreciate is I have a bathroom to myself, a bedroom to myself, a kitchen, and a living room with my best friend. So it's pretty dope.
But you don't have a bedroom to yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I just I things. So my TLA moment, biggest TLA moment is just kind of like. I was talking to the president of the consulting group here at FSU and just talking to him about the summer and everything. Like he's just like, you had more of an experience than like anyone our age ever has. And that was like a prideful moment for sure.
It's pretty awesome. De las Cuevas, you're smiling ear to ear. It's like you're having fun up there. Thank you. Rodriguez.
Was hot. I booked 2 demos of my Uber drivers last night. I appreciate being on the spot, and my biggest TLA moment has been being able to be a problem solver anywhere I am. So
outstanding. I love it. I was talking to Rob yesterday or a couple of days ago, and he talked about whatever the moment was. He was around other people, peers, and the term he used, and I know what he meant. I want to make sure I'm painting Rob in the right light here. He said something to the effect of, "Yeah, I felt really confident, almost cocky of what I knew versus." And I said, those moments can happen. And I think what's important is that, and then Mike Abramowitz, I think, addressed this a couple weeks ago, but now that you're more aware of things that we can do to be better versions, I hope you have this feeling of, oh, I am ahead of people, like your whole life. This shouldn't be like, oh, my fall semester. This should be when you go to, like when I went to this wedding, at the Herman wedding. It was so awesome because there was someone who came up to us and said, "Are you one of those Cutco people? Like, you guys are all over the place," because the wedding was 50+% Cutco and like 20% Filter Easy and the other 30% random people. And and we should be feeling like those moments all the time. But you know, as a Florida United member, I always want you to be humble about it and know that, hey, okay, well, guess what? Yes, we're ahead, and we can be really cocky or arrogant. And Rob wasn't being arrogant, by the way. That was just the term he used, and we had a discussion. But I want you to think about, okay, well, how many more people can I be an example for? I think that's really important. You don't know who's looking up to you. It's really important. And I know who's looking up to me. Right now, I got 32 of you fools. So anyway. We're going to go to Dalila, then Jackson. I want to wrap up with the other two districts in the other hubs with Carlos and Mike, please. Dalila, you're up.
So what's hot is just being back in Cali. I appreciate my mom, and my biggest TLA moment is actually my best friend just got a planner, and I taught her how to do like power hour.
Did you blow her mind?
What was that?
Was her mind blown?
It was. She was
Nice. Excellent. Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, you ready to roll? Jackson, you're up.
Yeah, right. All right. What's hot is it's game day, and then what I appreciate is everybody being on time, everybody being here on point. And my biggest TLA moment is I think back a year ago I was like driving to a hub to come go to these NLG meetings, and now I am a hub, so it's kind of a humbling experience. Pretty awesome. So
Jackson, look at me. Look at me. You're a hub. You're my hub. All right, let's wrap up. Thanks for bearing with, guys. Let's go to Tampa with Mike and then Carlos, and then we're gonna rock and roll. I told, actually, part of Heidi's bachelor party, Caitlin Hensley's in town, which is Trey Ketchum's fiance, and so she's in our wedding party. And she said, "Are you excited for your meeting tomorrow? Because I know you and Trey have your meeting." And she said, Southern accent. And she said, "What are you most excited about?" She just asked me, and I said, "I'm most excited about next level," because I took it out of my opening comments. But every year, if we only had a next level group and it staffed the division and then some, that's how you know you have great deployment. And guess what? We have a next level group that can staff all of Florida United and then some. Like the whole first year class could quit, and I certainly know they won't, but they could all quit, and the 32 of us will staff 22 to 23 offices and probably 7 or 8 exports. And that is an exciting feeling. And right now there's no other division. There's maybe Carolina has a few exports, but there's no other division that is exporting to the level that we are. Now, technically, to be fair, we're 2 divisions. So, but per division, we're still exporting about 2 or 3 people, which is exciting. So we'll wrap up with Mike and then Carlos, and we'll roll.
So what's hot is fall personal growth travel schedule to San Fran, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, West Palm, and then so it's going to be pretty exciting to learn and develop. And I appreciate my staff stepping up to be eager and learn how to own and operate the business while I'm out of town, and they're doing a great job as we transition into that. And I feel like the moment was funny last night over dinner. Lindsay and I were talking, and in conversation, we talked about the 4 agreements, and it just came into conversation about not taking things personal, and something that she was dealing with at work. It's like, yeah, it's not really about them. It's not really about you. It's about them. They're just projecting their own insecurities onto you. And it was like, you can see, it's like, yeah, I see that. So it's always a constant never-ending process of growth. So always implementing new lessons into life.
Awesome. I love TLA moments for adults. We're having adulting TLA moments. Thanks, Mike. Carlos.
What's hot is our office is on upward track with recruiting. We're launching the top 5, I think, and top new recruits. Pretty cool. Let's see here. What I appreciate young individuals that are working hard, doing more than what their friends are doing, and not being average, not being normal. And I think the biggest silly moment on the other side, tons of them, but I think in the last 24 hours, last night, my cousin is actually staying with my brother and I. She's in the middle of apartments, and she proceeded to just like open up and tell me like how proud she was and just how like impressed, like now she's like how I wake up early and I'm going to the gym and just, and she's like, you don't have to go to your office till like 2 or 3 and what, like during the week and stuff, and so she was just, really impressed. She's like, there's like books under the coffee table. Like this is not like a normal like bachelor pad. So I don't know. She was kind of impressed by that. So I thought that was kind of cool. So
it's not a normal bachelor pad. It's a TLA bachelor pad. No, sorry. It's exciting. What book?
No, there's a bunch of them. I have like this book on tennis, like the game of tennis. I have, the financial and the Coffee House Investor, like just a bunch of books that how to influence people.
Awesome.
The Success Magazine to Scott said such, so all those things are there.
That's awesome. I'm on the same thing too. Where instead of spending a lot of money on more furniture, we already bought a lot of expensive furniture. We're now decorating with piles of books everywhere, which is really cool. all the TLA books. Outstanding. Hey, can everyone get yourself? I know virtually going through that whole round can sometimes take energy. So if everyone could just reset, right? Get your agendas out. And I'm going to ask that you pull out your debrief right now from the summer. Anywhere that you can reference, notes that you took. I asked last night that you come prepared, ready to share. And I'm going to ask that you give me your top 3 takeaways. And I need a facilitator. So over in Tampa, Carlos and Mike, if you guys could have a whiteboard over there. I know you have that portable one. Tallahassee, Jackson, with your whiteboard ready to roll. San Juan, whiteboard ready to roll. And then I'll be facilitating up here. We're gonna go lightning quick, and I'd like everyone to share as concise as possible. But we do have time here. We don't have to rush. As concise as possible. But even if you are a dom, an assistant, branch, doesn't matter what position, pilot, sales manager, even district managers at the end. I would like your top 3 biggest discoveries, takeaways, things that when you think about preparing for next summer, we, the team, has to remember and be focused and know this lesson. These 3, but we'll go 2. Everyone, your top 2 biggest light bulbs, lessons, gifts, if you will, which is our positive take on sometimes ass-handing challenges, right? Some of us got our butts handed to us, and that can be a great gift and so forth. So I'll give you 30 seconds, 60 seconds, districts included. And then I'm going to show you my full list, and my full list is on point because I spent 3 days going through this list with the DVMs, and I have full confidence that I have the formula for success, right? And you have to be careful sometimes when you over-promote. Well, you can't over-promise and under-deliver. I'm not over-promising anything. My formula, our formula, the region formula, it's going to work, and I'm very confident. Almost, you guys know the term bullish. Look, overconfident in a way. Like bullish is like, yeah, we can. Oh, I just ran a marathon. I'm going to run an ultra marathon. You might die, right? Like that kind of thing. So, 30 seconds. Okay, we'll go quickly. We'll start with the virtuals, and I want to go with Grant, Nefty, and Josie to start with just top 1 or 2 takeaways, and I'll write yours on the board here. So Grant, you want to kick us off, friend?
Would love to. So top 1 or 2 or 3 takeaways. First off, I think as far as virtuals go, especially if there isn't a hub nearby, so someone's like, I did a really bad job. Like my first interview I ran was 8 months since the last one I ran for my branch. So my first interview for my branch, I didn't do one in 8 months. So just like being more on top of one coming in town, actually doing interviews, actually running some functions within the office just because I don't have an office up here. Next one, with just first year branch, there's things you know, there's things you don't know, there's things you don't know. There's a lot of things you don't know with branch. So that was a really good learning experience for me. And also just coming in overconfident coming off the AM summer of with the pilot 2 years ago, I guess it was now, and then going into the branch, I was expecting to be a lot easier than it was. So that's kind of a wake-up call.
Yeah. Hey Grant, what did you not realize was different when it became your show?
I didn't just have to run one little function, I had to run all the functions.
Yeah, that
And there was nowhere to go.
that and oh crap, I pay for everything. Right? For me, when I was a branch, I'm like, oh crap, like I didn't know all this went behind the scenes. So that's a really good one. It's overconfidence. I think for those of you that are from offices this summer that experienced success going into the following summer, that's a big challenge to fight through, hubris, right? And getting overconfident. Even in our pilot, we did $1 million this summer, Metro Miami, and any office that deemed a successful summer, you gotta look out for that. So thanks, Grant. We'll go to Nefti, and then Josie, and then Luke.
For me, one of the biggest things was just professionalism and mystique, like in the office especially, is like really important. I guess maybe because like we're like around their age, so we have to like establish that barrier. And the second one was the importance of consistency for attainment. So like we're really big on like being on top of people during the quick start and everything, but still making sure you get into those coaching calls and everything like after that.
Okay.
Quick start.
Fast start. Sorry, I always mess that up.
Or how about the rapid start? Get off to a rapid start. Nice. Okay, let's do this for sake of time. If you were an assistant this summer, let me give me one. Okay. If you are a dom or higher, give me like 2 or 3 good ones. Okay. Just for sake of time. Josie, you're up. Give me one of your 2 or one of your 3.
I guess the biggest one was just being on top of recruiting. So getting into those, I guess, ideal schools that we want to be in and how to recruit the key people who we want to work with us.
Okay, outstanding. And hub leaders, I think what I'm suggesting is that you guys copy the same board. So, because sometimes I would imagine in Tallahassee, San Juan, and Tampa, you can't read what I'm saying. So I would probably just write along with like, for example, what Josie just said. Okay. Let's go to Luke. What are we looking at? Is that Luke's? There you go. That was Luke's mouse.
Sorry, I was looking up at something. I would say the difference between having a 3-person staff and like an 8-person staff. So delegation to staff for me. And then importance of fire number. Obviously, I think that's going to be a recurring theme going through.
Luke, do you know that the Fort Lauderdale pilots set more PRs than anyone in the entire region?
I saw that. I do check the WhatsApps every now and then that I'm still in.
I mean,
I'm rooting you guys on.
Yeah, so I just
that
saved our summer. Fire number and hiring PR callers, and we beat Trey Ketchum for set PR. That's not normal. No
Wait, did we really?
Maybe we did. Yeah, we had 2,000 there at 1,800. So, I mean, that saved our summer. They caught the momentum early, and we're shipping big new business in May. We weren't, and if we didn't hire 2 or 3 callers, if we didn't get fire number on point, if you guys didn't do what you did, Mila, Josie, Erica, Malcolm, Luke, and staff. I mean, I don't know what kind of summer we wouldn't have had $1 million summer. That's for sure. Okay, beautiful. Let's go to San Juan hub, and then we'll go over to Tallahassee. So we'll go. Christina, give me 1.
So basically just using your circle of influence in times of need can be the difference between a good summer and a great one. Just not being afraid of reaching out if you have doubts or just wanting to get better in some aspects.
Yeah, I never share this, but probably in my September planning, I always write a little mind map from, okay, who are the people that hung out and spoke to each other? And I put them in groups and I circle them, and the CPR is all the same. Like, who are the people, like I can say like Luke and Andrew are always talking, and then I'll circle who's talking to them mostly and who they're not, and then it all matches the same. Like the people who speak and have the same similar circles of influence communication, their CPOs there's some outliers, but almost always it's like clumped and they all match up. It's scary. It's really scary, even within. So good. Thanks, Christina. Chewy, give me 1, and then Patricia, give me 1.
Yeah, I would say PR calling, not just doing it, but getting better at it, being focused on that fire number, and increasing every week show percentage.
Okay, so increasing on stats. Okay, good. Patricia.
I would think support is the same concept of high energy throughout the summer when you're working with reps every day and
Okay, high energy. Okay, for all the districts here and those of you that are running office, aren't the assistant manager answers cute? Right? Raise your hand if you're running office. Yeah, aren't they cute? Man, wait till they run an office. Like these are really cute, great, and by the way, appropriate assistant answers and some dom answers. But you know, if you run an office, I want to hear that. I want to hear the okay when you really like what Grant said. There's some really in depth, and as you get higher, the answers get more complex. Cute in a good way. So Chewy, you're cute. I like it. All right, let's go over to Tallahassee. Let's go to Mr. Sullivan quickly. Give me one. Mason, and then Kirsten. Give me like 2 or 3 from having run an office. And make sure you speak up, please.
Push power. Experiencing the summer conferences for the first time. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, Ben Jackson speaking at our national conference on just on that topic, the importance of popping and how to pop push weeks, which he does often. Mason.
I'd say the importance of enhancing our WhatsApp culture and just our culture in general. For posting your stats, posting videos.
Yeah, tell me more about that. What do you mean?
So like. Yeah, I mean, I would like, when I came to Tally, we like do this every drop counts thing. We never did that back home. We did similar things, but posting every sale, hyping up the new reps and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So, okay, you're saying so as you get more involved in WhatsApp, it's easier to manage more people, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. WhatsApp culture. I like that. All right, Kier, hit them.
A couple of things. The first thing is the importance of the manager set on the weekends, especially Saturday, and that we should be setting 10, 15, 20 plus on Saturdays in order to maximize your entire recruiting for that week. Also, the importance of event-to-event management. I never realized how important it was until you actually have your own reps, how to manage them from event to event. That's a really big factor because if you can get them to one event, you can probably get them to the next one. So
yeah, aside from interviewing, aside from creating touches, getting them to your training and launching them, those are like the big 3. After that, the next most important skill isn't PDI, it's attendance. Because even if you're terrible at PDI, if people keep showing up, you're okay as a new office. If you've got this great PDI and you're coaching people, but people don't return your calls or you don't connect with people or they don't show up to your events, your PDI doesn't really mean much. So to Kirsten's point. Kirsten, give me one more.
And then I think just consistent and habitual triple threat. When people are coming in every single time they come to the office, they should know that's something that you do to check in. When you're checking the team meeting at the check-in table, showing your Focus 5, you should be posting on triple threat before you even start calling. It's something that you need every single time you're in the office, be utilizing the space and your atmosphere, and be videos, photos, posting on social media to maximize conversions.
Yeah, social media is one of, if not, it's one of the most powerful forces and communicators and platforms in the world, just in general. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Snapchat. And if we're not using that, if it's not a habit, oh man, you're missing out completely. Thanks, Kier. Eddie, give me 2 or 3.
First one, definitely AM PRs. So for district offices, you need AM PRs. Then if you're a branch, you better hit Facebook really, really hard. And that's basically your AM PRs if you're exported. The second one, I put down, especially for coaching, you gotta lay down the standards of your organization with first week and PDIs off the top. Let them know that it's clear this is how it's gonna work. Just nailing your weekends. If you're not setting PRs, you're managing the new ones and pushing the second half. This would be my third takeaway. The second half of the fast start. The second half of the fast start should be bigger than the first, and really just taking it because they just left on Wednesday, so they should be maximizing finishing strong and building that clear culture. Really.
Yeah, it's really interesting you say that, Eddie. So I gave a message at fall kickoff on days 4 through 10 fast start, which is the first weekend. You get the goal. Florida Caribbean, #1 PPR in the company, I think. Yeah, we are. And first weekend, we're popping it. We're averaging over $2,000 PPR, which is just it's up there. But in several of our offices, the back half of the fast start is bigger, equal or bigger than the first weekend, and that's real productivity. Real productivity is when someone is selling as much or more from days 4 through 10 than just their first weekend. Because people can pop off, get the right recruits, and they show their best 5 people the really good max, they get some sales. But it's real management that gets people to sell beyond their advanced training. It's real management that gets them with 30 to 50 numbers on Wednesday. It's real management to coach them to their benchmark for a second weekend. And to Eddie's point, it's really cool. We did this report at the DVM meeting of productivity. And then it talked about second weekend PDI. It was Florida Caribbean and parts of Florida Gulf all over the place. Like the whole report was Florida Caribbean, Florida Gulf, Florida United. And this is one of those you don't know until you leave your family. Right, when everyone says please and thank you at the dinner table, and then you go to someone else's house, or Mike, that story when you went to meet Lindsay's family and you started eating before saying grace. It's just different. Don't take for granted what is already natural PPR systems here that will get you, in this case, championship #1 productivity results. But here's the funny thing: sometimes we don't hit all those things. It's kind of like we have it so good here, but we don't have it. We don't use all the ingredients sometimes. Right? We just had a staff meeting and we covered what the pilot does in advanced training. And I had 2 managers go, "Oh, I didn't do that." It's like that's like the recipe here. Oh, wait, you do a names list expansion on Monday? Wait, there's a 10K coaching session on the second day of training? Oh, wait, we do benchmark PDI and you ask people second weekend what level the faster they can get to. Like these are things that are natural for us. But what's so funny, sometimes you're so close to the forest to see the trees, meaning you're in it, but you don't even do everything. When all the answers are right here, and everyone wants to go, what's the book you could recommend? Who can I talk to get advice? Well, I want to expand my circle of influence and talk to another manager. How about you just follow directions here? That seems to be working. Ask Andrew. Seems to be working really well. To just, Andrew, I think Andrew's reaching out in a way, but not really. I think it's just really perfecting and mastering. I'm not saying we're the best programs, but we're the best programs for us to execute here, right? And you see it time and time again. And every time we try to digress, you see that dip. So good, Eddie. Thank you. Rob, give me one. Dalila, give me a couple.
How important it is to just do PDI, not going right after training. Friday, Saturday, most importantly, just up until 18-1. Most of the time, if you not talk to them those days, they're most likely not going to show up. So how important that was.
Okay. Yeah, so ready? I'll summarize that one. Make sure you talk to every single person from the launch first weekend. You have to. Saturday especially. Really Friday. Good. Dalila, second time branch.
I think definitely as a branch with no staff, you should, get on social media recruiting. That's like a big thing I think we've improved on. And another thing is just having that self-staff meeting and making sure that you're looking at the numbers and making sure that they're on point, even if they're a little bit off. Reaching out early to somebody to help you bring any of those shows or those numbers up. I think that's a big thing early on in the summer.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. If you come from a district office and you're not doing the weekly planning, it boggles. There are districts. There are districts. Someone's coughing. God bless you. There are districts that didn't do the weekly planning. It boggles my mind where it's not just because it's not an ego thing where, oh, well, the pilot did it and we talked about it, you didn't do it. It just, I can't comprehend a business. I can't fathom a business that doesn't plan their strategy each week. It was Rob. Rob and I had a call talking about Tallahassee. They were fired up because they did their staff meeting and they know exactly how many demos and exactly how many appointments they need to set for every phone jam. That's a real business, right? You're tracking it. Difference between showing up and let me just see what I can work out versus, okay, this is what I'm going to work out today. This is my plan. So thanks, Dalila. Good. Let's go over to Tampa. Quick start hotline. That's hilarious. Let's go over to Will. Will, give us one quickly. Then we'll go to Tristan.
My biggest one was seeing the difference in starting a couple weeks later and really focusing on getting right after kickoff.
When you say one more time, it's hard to hear you guys.
So the importance of recruiting like right after kickoff, and there's like a couple of weeks waiting after, and like how that affects the whole summer.
Would you say getting off to a quick start for the summer?
Yes.
Nifty. Too active. After kickoff. Okay, we'll go to Tristan. Give me one, and then I think that's Amanda, right? Is that Amanda? That is Amanda. Yeah, Amanda, give us a couple. Go ahead, Tristan.
I think for me, the biggest thing is starting recruiting where I would territory right now, so not waiting till spring. If wait till spring, it's far.
Waiting till spring for what? Say it again.
For recruiting.
Oh,
So
I see.
starting
I see. Yeah. So momentum, recruiting momentum.
Yeah.
Good. Amanda. Yeah. Branch abroad. Give me 2 or 3.
I would say definitely getting to your territory early. And in April, if possible, how important it is to get out of school and to be already set up, so that way you can get that first recruiting wave in May. And also the power of being selective in the beginning and building from right people from the get-go to get off to a good start. And just knowing your representatives' stories and their goals. So if they do get off track, you can remind them of why they're really here. And you can from a force of curiosity and anything, and they're a lot more receptive.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you talked about that. You know, that's something we talked about last year. I looked at the agenda, being selective in the beginning. But when I give my debrief in just a second, I think some of you took that way too far. I think some of you took that way too far, where you were so selective you didn't have anyone. It's like, I have high standards. I'm only gonna date the best, and you're single forever. Like that's a really good example. It's like, oh, I just have such a high. Ready? I don't know why I'm listening. Sorry. I just have. Sorry. I have such a high standard. Like I just, you know, when I date, I can't find. I have to have this high standard. Well, you know, I think if you have that high and unreachable standard, you're going to be single forever, right? So what do you have to do? You have to find out what's really important that's compatible for you. And I think that goes to our branches especially, but I think they got it from our districts where they said, be really selective in the beginning. You didn't have anyone. And I'm going to share, when I do my debrief, I'm going to share a really funny story / exercise that when the new districts came in, our new district managers, they also took this way too far. And really funny story about being too selective, and we're going to fix that. We're going to get things rolling, and recruiting is still the answer no matter what in our business. So good thoughts, Amanda. Thank you. Shakta.
So one takeaway would be like when you're a rep, the way you make money by the phone, and I think as a manager, like PRs, just getting on the phones and calling PRs, that's the amount of you can do as a manager to do the business. And then second takeaway would be just like the accuracy of all the metrics. I was really surprised at how accurate they were.
What was accurate? Say it again.
The PR funnel, like the metrics of like set to launch, and just having faith in those numbers. Yeah,
not only if you have faith in numbers, but if you understand the numbers, you'll know what to drive more. Right. So if I'm a manager that's stuck, I heard that term this summer, that's stuck. And oh well, I set my 5 for Saturday, but you have nothing going on. I wouldn't just set 5, because if my metrics is 13 set is a launch, whatever the number is, I'm gonna set 26 before Sunday, and if I only have 8 weeks to recruit, I'm okay doing that for 8 weeks. I'm okay doing that for 7 weeks, and I don't know what the answer is, but just something really important to think about. Good, thank you, Zach. Skylar.
So definitely momentum early, and also getting the good person.
Skylar, you're so sweet, and I can't hear you because your voice is so precious and soft. Oh, are you sick? Okay. Second one.
Getting PRs in and replicating them by rep trick and triple threat, obviously.
Okay, triple threat and AMPRs. Ready? District managers, I'd love to hear from you. David, then I'd like to hear from Jackson, and then I'd like to hear from Carlos and Mike real quick. And give me like 1 or 2 big ones.
Daniel, we got Daniel.
Oh, sorry, Daniel. Go ahead. Give me one. I couldn't see it.
Biggest takeaway was like, honestly, just when you're assessing the week, not only like identifying the problem, but actually like digging in and really giving action steps towards facing that.
Okay, so how you have I guess tangible ways to handle to create solutions. Good. Let's go to David Jackson quickly. Give me 1 or 2 just big takeaways from summer 18, and then I want to wrap up with Carlos and Mike.
My biggest takeaway was just the importance of having conversations and just having conversations, like deep conversations with the rep, helping them grow and develop. That way you can change for a long time or develop.
Can you summarize that in 1 sentence? I didn't really understand it. I'm sorry.
Development. The importance of developing your people.
Oh, okay. Focus on development. Okay. Jackson?
Yeah, I'd say staff delegation.
Yeah, tell me more about that, please.
And people involved in the office. I know Mike was in the office, helped me a lot this summer. If we wouldn't have had this summer if Mike wasn't a part of the office. So I think that's a major key, making sure speed of leader, speed of the team.
Yeah, how about more help, right? More help. We need more help. We need more help. That's going to be part of mine. Okay. Carlos, and then I want to go to Mike.
I would say focusing on the local AMPRs is like a big one. I've scheduled like a bunch of kids like 3 weeks out from other schools and just getting on a crappy show. So focusing on the locals. And then the second one I would say is the importance of having a system for friending and messaging, Facebook, Instagram, daily, like 50 messages a day. So holding everybody accountable, having a system for that.
Yeah, I would. Can I take it 1 step further, Carlos?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a system. What I would say, and I think Carlos is saying this, but in a different way. What I would say is get on the damn system, right? Be on the right. Maybe Carlos is saying be on the right system, because I heard too many times this summer, too many times that I'm comfortable with. Yeah, but I like to do it this way. But I like to. I said, you're not shipping anything. What I like to do is make money. What I like to do is succeed. What I like to do is profit. Yeah, but I'm more comfortable doing it this way. That's great, and a big part of what I'm going to talk. We might actually take a break before I go, because I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off. We're going to take a break. We're going to do a break after this, because I'm going to go off. It's not what's comfortable, right? I'm going to go ahead and come back. It's pleasing results, not pleasing methods, and I want you to write that down. Pleasing methods versus pleasing results. So you write it down and process this for a second. Pleasing methods versus pleasing results. You have to pick one, and you can't have both. Pleasing methods versus pleasing results. Working out, getting fit. If you want pleasing methods, right? Easy workout, not that strenuous, not that often. That's a pleasing method. The result's not going to be pleasing. One is always pleasing, the opposite is not. If I want pleasing results, I want to feel good and get the exact shape I want, look the way I want, the methods will not be pleasing. They will hurt. And too many examples this summer of pleasing methods versus pleasing results. And the number one thing I can tell you that separates Andrew from a lot of people, yes, he's growth-oriented, and yes, he gets on stage, all those things. They just had a PLS meeting, which is the Presidential Leadership Summit at Al's house in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And they had a mini meeting with the top, I think, 15 district managers in the entire Eastern region. I'm sorry, Vector East. And he gave a talk on championship results, a talk that he's given multiple times. And the number one feedback, and I got text messages from Al. He goes, this is great for people to see, Andrew. Number one feedback is that he works harder than them. And he's willing to put the methods in that are not pleasing to get the better result. Well, everyone else doesn't want to go through that pain. And that's the difference. That's the difference, right? Now, I'm going to jump ahead. I was on a podcast. It was Ed Milet. Education is not going to get you more success, right? This was he just posted this. It's not education that's going to. Why?
Because we were trying to figure out what that word said.
And it doesn't look like it.
It doesn't matter what it says. It's what I can read.
I thought it was the name you were saying.
So Ed Milet posted on Instagram, and I was watching or listening to one of his podcasts, and he said, it's not It's not education. Everyone's got resources to find education. It's not the Harvard degree. It's application. It's work ethic. It's persistence. It's the ability to apply. You can go Mike knows this. You can go to all the Tony Robbins conferences you want. If you don't apply, it doesn't matter. I can pay for an MBA. If I don't apply it, it doesn't matter. I can pay for online coaching. If I don't apply, it doesn't matter. If I don't work, none of this matters. We can read all these books this semester. How to be CEO. Well, we're not reading that this year, right? 4 Agreements, 1 Minute Manager, Your Best Year Ever. Michael Bromwitz, by the way, bestseller. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Money Honey is another book we're going to explore potentially this coming fall. Like a lot of really cool books. Managing Oneself from Peter Drucker. Really some classics here. Doesn't matter. The goal is not to be the most well-read. It's to be the most applied. Like I've applied and put things to use. That's growth, everybody. And I think we saw too many pleasing methods, not pleasing results. And that's just, we are definitely going to take a break. So I'm going to go off for a little bit. So, thoughts on that for a second?
I got one, Doug.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up with you. Anyone else? Any thoughts on what Carlos was talking about? And okay, Mike, wrap up, bring us home, and then I have one last thought, and then we're going to take a break before I go. Just keeping a button.
For me, looking at the numbers was 15 to 1, so 15 scheduled to 1 launch. That was what our number was this summer, and we went into the summer saying we were going to set up 1,500 PRs as a staff to get 150 launch. Well, we set up 800 PRs as a staff. Well, of course, we're not going to launch 150, which essentially by setting up half the amount of PRs we set out to set, we launched half the amount of people we wanted to launch, which means we sold half of what we wanted to sell. So the simple metrics of 15 scheduled to 1 launch, we just got to set more people. And that came from staff accountability to making sure we had enough resources to fuel that, to making just holding the line, with PR set up on and not worrying about time. Like, oh, I already did my 2 hours. I don't care. We got to get outcomes. Did you say you're 10? Did you say you're 15? Did you say you're 25? No, like you're staying here until you do. Like we got to do this together, myself included. So that's by far number one. Nothing else matters in my opinion besides that one metric. So 15 schedules, 1 launch for the summer.
It is voodoo magic how accurate the numbers are. It is voodoo magic. Just like, the whole divide by 2.1, multiply times 2.5 to get the newsletter, all that.
Yes.
It's like voodoo magic. It's the same voodoo magic. Here's one thing I will say. You have an infant, a newborn. I know way too early for many of you, but not for me, right? So we have a newborn, and the baby's crying at 2 in the morning. Imagine this scenario. Well, let's just sleep in. We already allotted 10 to midnight to take care of the baby. So, we're past the time we were going to take care of the baby. I'll say it again. So it's like 3 in the morning. The baby's crying hysterically, not because they're having problems, but something's wrong. Yeah, but 11 to midnight, 10 to midnight is when we allotted our time to take care of this baby. So it's not time to take the baby. So we're just going to let it suffer. That's what a lot of you did this summer. A lot of us did. Not the pilot. We didn't do that. How about this? Well, I don't have enough people to get the number I want to get this metrics that Mike's talking about. Well, I'll use a district example. I already have a staff and we're supposed to set it, but you're not setting the number. Hire more receptionists. Yeah, but I have my staff. And we have managers that went weeks and never hired people and never got their number. But I have my staff, but your staff ain't doing jack poo-poo. Your staff's not getting it done. So hire staff. That's what we did. Our pilot staff, no offense in the beginning, was like whatever. I don't know what. It was like you were telling people not to come. It's like, hi, how are you? Oh, yeah. Don't come by the way. Don't come. Don't come. It's like you were saying that. That's how bad the shows were in the pilot. We fixed that later. But until we fixed that, you know how I fixed it? With money. With pain in the butt, hiring receptionists. I didn't plan on hiring. I didn't plan on hiring any receptionists this summer. And essentially, including this AMs that we paid hourly, we had 4. I planned on 0. So the 4 cost me, I did the numbers, I think it cost me about $3,000 to $4,000, maybe $4,000 to $5,000. Okay? Number 1, when we had full-blown receptionists, I was spending in excess of $54,000 a year. I'm okay with 5,000 instead of 54. But what that net yielded was $586,000 roughly in new business, most of that from PR business. Right? But I don't want to hire. But see, there are a lot of managers that didn't want to hire receptionists because that's not pleasing methods. But I really like the result of $5,000. Now take a couple zeros off, and that's your number. It doesn't matter the number. So food for thought. Michael, thank you for that. Let me. I don't like to go more than an hour and 15 at a time. What does that say? Yes, Mila, go. What's it say?
8.
8. No.
AET?
AEI. Okay. Just code word for me. So I was listening to a podcast from Arthur Brooks. And Luke, by the way, remind me ATL. I'm going to send this to you. You dig this. So Arthur Brooks is a former CEO of the largest conservative political party think tank on Capitol Hill, former CEO. And I'm just giving you the short version. So he's super accomplished economist, super accomplished politician advisor, super accomplished musician. I also met him at our wedding preparation retreat. So he's also super Catholic. It's really cool. This guy balls out. This guy kills it. And his big thing is that he wants to fight poverty. And his big thing right now, what he's known for, what his podcast is about, is that he is not a Republican. He is not a Democrat. He wants the world to be better. Period. And he doesn't identify with both. I guess you could be called a moderate, whatever the term is. And so he grew up as a Democrat, heavy left wing, heavy left. But he was really intrigued with the right because he's a really big believer in free enterprise, like running businesses. And he said together with the values here and the values here, what's really important is we can get things moving. So he's got this whole podcast on how to argue with people. He's got this whole podcast on how to argue with people, especially during political climate, because you got, even in my family, you got people who are on the right, people on the left, and it's holidays. Damn.
Yeah.
That's rough. Right? Especially last year when the elections happened. Okay. I have a cousin that no longer speaks to any of the family, me, but doesn't speak to any of the family because of difference in political views and feeling offended and her social media backlash. Oh, it is really, you would think it's a movie. Like she is disconnected. She is like disowned by some people in the family, including my sister, over not being able to argue politically. Really interesting. So he has a whole podcast, and I want you to just process this. He said, instead of focus more on what's common in our why than what's different in our what and how. I want you to write that down. When we can focus more on what's common with our why. So this is in the realm of political party. You got a Republican family with Democrat friends coming over. You don't talk politics. I'm not really talking politics. It's just an example. And people are arguing, and all of a sudden says the Trump word, and then someone says the left Democrat word, and someone says the taxes word. Oh my gosh, and it's debate. Right? Focus more on what's common with why than what's different with the what and the how. So I would argue, regardless of what religion you are or what political party you voted for, always vote, by the way. Regardless, if you talk to someone long enough, you'll find common. And here's what I do know, okay? I know there's a lot of what's and how's and why and how we get to the point. But the common why is we want to succeed in business. We want our businesses to succeed, and we want to impact a lot of young people. That's common, right? We want to create a lot of 5-star recruits and help people become the best version of themselves. So food for thought. Food for thought. If that's the case, I know there are a lot of ways to skin a cat, but if we can all choose to skin the cat at the highest level by systemizing and getting things rolling, that really makes a big difference. And also, the second point is you're going to probably end up having these political debates. Take out politics. Why are you doing Cutco? You guys might differ in your view, but if you talk long enough, the reasoning behind someone giving you poo-poo about doing Cutco is probably a good reason, because at the end, their why is I care for you, or their why is I want you to succeed. And in my mind, the knife thing doesn't help you do that. Their why is actually pretty good. Your why, I want to succeed. Their why, giving you crap. They want you to succeed. So forget about what and why they think, what and how. Focus on why they're doing it. So double entendre for you. Cool. Any light bulbs? Let's do some quick light bulbs That was good. I just heard that yesterday on my drive. It was really, it's sad. I listened to it twice. Any quick light bulbs? Let's go Tallahassee. Any light bulbs since you got the biggest group, and we're gonna go to break, and then I'm gonna unleash my debrief. So we skipping the pilot. Oh wait.
I think.
Hold on. Time out.
It's okay.
We'll come back. Yeah. Go ahead. Who is just participating? Yeah. Go ahead.
Here's. I mean, if you don't apply what you learned, there's no point of you learning it. And I mean that just goes for everything in life.
Yeah.
You spend the time and you don't actually apply, there's no point other than.
What's really interesting, I'm pretty sure that everyone learned the same stuff that Andrew and Eddie learned last fall and spring. I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure Andrew didn't say, yes, but there's a file on my computer that I don't share. That's just for Eddie and I. And Lauren and Rob. It's the secret folder. Like that. I'm pretty sure that's not happening. I'm pretty sure you have access to all the files. I'm pretty sure you have all the scripts. I'm pretty sure you can go back to any prep and find any video, and it'll be the same this year. The difference between the players and the A players and the real players is going to be application, for sure. Good point. Any other takeaways? We'll go Tally. We'll go Eddie, and then we'll switch over, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, I think be more said in phasing methods versus phasing results. I mean, just like working with Andrew, being close to him for the past years, it's not a matter of like ever being better than anyone at anything, but like something that I know he can confidently say and that like I've been trying to work on every time is like I just know I will outwork you, and that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, and I think we should start saying this too, Eddie, if you don't mind, right? I think we should start saying we're going to outwork and out-apply you. I think that's it. Like there are a lot of you that actually worked a lot and had good intentions, but you didn't work on the right things. That's also not good too. Andrew outworks and out-applies people. I think that's a big thing. You ever see manager Andrew, Luke, me, Delgado, Eddie, Mike, Carlos, and there are moments. And by the way, I'm probably at the top of the list. Don't think I'm talking down. Like I'm at the top of the list where you go, did he just say that or really? And you think, how? You know, aside from a handful of people, I know the higher you go, you would think they're really impressive. The managers get more and more impressive. That's not the case. There are managers who I go, what is going on? But they know how to work hard and apply. I'm going to a conference in LA called SLC, and I'm going to see hundreds of people where I go, what the hell? How in the, what the? But they work hard and they can apply it. That's it. That's it. Thanks, Eddie. Good feedback. How about over to Tampa? Any light bulbs? Nefty, are you okay? Holy crap, I'm watching you on the TV coughing your lung. Holy schnick. Oh, go get something to drink. Go get something to drink now. Go. Okay. Are you drinking beer? That is a solo. What the?
It's game day. Bongos from Roses. Gotta pee for game day.
Hey, when we talked about quick start, we went after the prep, okay? All right. Tampa, any light bulbs real quick? We'll do one or two over there.
Pleasing methods versus pleasing results. Alright, so if you could do something easy and then not get results versus doing something hard.
Yeah, I agree. I hope that's the biggest theme from today.
And Jeff, to pick up what you said, that focus on what's common with our why that's different with our what and how. Over the same dinner last night with Lindsay, we were talking about the difference because I was raised Jewish, she was raised Catholic. We were just talking about the differences, and then in our conversation, we're like, well, when we have kids, like, what is it that we want? What is it that we want? And I said, realistically, these are the outcomes I want. This is why I want like certain things. And it was interesting on how similar, her faith, my faith, how similar what we really were after was the whys and not the what's and the hows and the labels. So we might have to come up with our own like label, but necessarily it's all about why we're doing what we want. To raise our family the right way.
Yeah.
So
the same way as someone who's religious, like really strong in their religion, believes their has their system set, the same way that I believe that cutting through college can help me versus someone who thinks this is the stupidest thing for you to do in the world if you want to be a doctor. Okay, like if you keep asking enough questions, eventually you find out that everyone kind of wants the same good thing. I know it sounds kind of fluffy, but it's really not. If you really talk to someone who's Jewish, like I have a good former colleague, Cutco alumni, Sarah LaFeldix, she was former Silver Cup champion, and I talked to her the other day, a couple weeks ago, and she made this. I'm just thinking. I'm going off the cuff here, Mike. You brought something up, and you're Jewish, and she's Jewish, and we were talking about Judaism, and she said, you know, one of the things I loved about working with you in college when I was at FIU is that although I really, from a religion standpoint, could not connect with you because my parents are Orthodox Jewish, and I'm the black sheep of the family. But at the end of the day, you know, you wanted to teach people to live a good life and be a good person, and that had nothing to do with what my parents thought. I said, oh, thank you for that, because I just really respected how you ran your business and how you treated people, and that has nothing to do with religion. So the same thing here. So good example. Thanks, Mike. Good. If you're interested, anyone's interested in that podcast, let me know. It's pretty awesome. And it's not political, so don't worry. It doesn't favor right or left. It's really sweet. You have to be smart. So if you're not smart, don't ask me. Okay,
Just give it to
let's
all
do
of
this.
us.
It is now 9:12. Let's take 10. So how about 23 after? We like 12 minutes. 20 what is it? 25 after. Let's take 12 minutes. 25 after. I'm gonna unleash my debrief. Cool. Thanks everyone. Stretch it out.
There you go.
Smokes if you got them. I'm just kidding. Can we erase the board or we took a picture, please?
Jeff, is this updated? Like, I remember it saying it ended at 12:30. Now it says 11:15. Is that right?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wait.
I'll let you know.
I have something else.
Yeah, remember I told you I realized that we're starting earlier than early planned. So the agenda is accurate, 8 to 11:15.
Oh, okay.
The syllabus is wrong. The fall schedule, we're not doing any more. None of them are 8. We're going to go 9 to 12, 9 to 12:15. So we got Tampa back up. Beautiful. Waiting for Puerto Rico.
I feel so bad. Not to look so sick.
Tallahassee's back up. San Juan is back up. Waiting for Jersey and Quick Start Hotline. Pretty good. Nefty, how you doing? You okay? Yeah, okay. Daniel Belton, what are you doing? Okay. Any other light bulbs real quick before we roll?
Yeah, Python has.
Is anyone interested in having a positive argument with people?
I'm very excited for that.
Come on, Dave. Spray.
You're doing a terrible job.
Sorry. Is it the marker, or the spray, or the white? Which one?
Or Dave. It's Dave.
That's good. No. Okay. Tampa, all accounted for? We're good? All right. Tally, we're all good down there? Up there? Good. Luke's back. Joseph's back. Neftino's here. San Juan, we're all good? There's Fernandez. Okay. Beautiful. Notes up for me, please. So it actually would be good for you to open up the agenda and take notes on the agenda. So if you want to open up the agenda, or if you don't have your computer, you can just pull up the agenda and take notes from it. But it'll be easier just to type directly onto the agenda. That's how I do it at DVM meetings too. So the first thing, and this is a summer debrief 2018, and a couple of you, if you're a district manager, have heard of a few of these things. Number one is, oh, hell no. Okay? When I think of, right, what do you think of when you think, and you hear this? Oh, hell no. Right? I think of Kevin Hart. I think of a movie where Kevin Hart, and there's a really attractive female who's double his height, and she makes a short joke, and he goes, "Oh hell no!" and he wants to hold me back, and it's probably The Rock holding him back because they're doing all these movies. Like that's what I think of. And so, ready? Oh hell no is this immediate reaction. It's not a response; it's a reaction when you feel disrespected. That's what I think of. Oh hell no. Okay, and I shared this on Thursday with the DMs. So let's say you're out and someone disrespects your mom.
Oh, God.
Right, your mama, blah, 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 right? Oh, hell no. Okay. In our business, though, and then Mike said this so beautifully, there are metrics that don't lie, okay? And so what we have to establish, what you as a business owner, to really have a successful organization, is to have zero tolerance for low performance. Zero tolerance for low performance. I know your CPO is not your worth, but damn, you got to pay the bills. I know your CPO is not your net worth, but we are in sales. I know your CPO is not your net worth, but we are running a business. Okay? So there's a balance there. I think it's important to get performance. Remember the whole example, there are divisions that have really awesome culture, but they don't sell anything. And there are divisions that sell up at bad culture. We have unbelievable culture. And we do have great sales, but we don't have sales that match necessarily the culture yet. And here's why. Because there's not enough oh hell no managers right now. Right? Think about that. There's got to be a standard. Like right now I talk to the districts about this. If you're not a double digit set for training, like if you don't have 10 or more people set for training in a week, there should be a oh hell no. And you drop what you're doing. That means, oh, I was planning on doing blank this weekend for fun, Oh, hell no, I can't because it's below 10. I'd like to. Andrew Evans was planning on not being in the office on Sundays past May. Eddie, I'm pretty sure he was there in June, right? For a little bit. Didn't want to. But his oh, hell no was my office is not where it needs to be. Pleasing methods versus pleasing results. Okay. For the district managers, it's below 10 set, under $5,000 in new business, okay, and under 40 PR set as an office for the cycle. Wouldn't be a bad thing to adopt for a branch. I'll say it again, and maybe you could type it out. Under 10 set for training, that's just unacceptable. Under 10 set, under $5,000 in new business, and under 40 PR set for the cycle. Right now for district managers is a hell no. That's not too far of what it should be for a branch. If I'm a branch manager, how many should I be setting personally for the week? 20, like 20 to 30, but call it 20 minimum. That means you got to find 20 more. Who's going to set 20 more if you're a branch? Who's going to set the other 20? Who's going to set the other 20? If you're setting 20, who's going to set the other 20? If you're a branch. You got to get to 40.
40 PRs.
You got to get to 40. You set 20 of them. Who's going to get the other 20? Yeah, you got to get a receptionist. Because if you don't get 40, you don't get the launches. This is Mike's example. Oh, hell no. So right now, I said there are district managers who, when they're under 10 set, there's no hell no reaction or response. When they're under $5,000 in new business, it's like, oh, okay, we'll have a trip this week. I wouldn't take a trip if my business was going under 5K because if I do that 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I might not have a business when I get back. I think that's really important. Imagine if someone said, your mama, and filled in some really explicative, really negative, really disrespectful thing to your mom and you went, all right, well, I got a trip coming up this weekend. You wouldn't tolerate that. So I think, oh, hell no. I'm going to stop there. Questions, comments, or feedback? I'm going to stop for each one. Oh, hell no. Giovanni.
I think it's really important to establish standards and expectations in all levels of your organization, whether it's reps, AMs, and what they need to do with like AM sales and PRs.
Yeah,
and
standards.
all the way up.
Yeah, in my family, you knew it was oh, hell no when Dad called a family meeting. We never really had family meetings, but I remember every freaking one. I remember every time we had Dad would like the whole family to meet in the living room. We have less than 10 in my life. I'm 40 years old. We have less than 10 of those meetings in my life, my whole life. And I remember every single one and what they were about. And it's because we went below standard as a family. It's like, you remember, I remember it. Mila.
I think having that mentality is the difference between being motivated and being committed.
Difference between motivation and commitment is having that oh hell no. Good. Other takeaways on the other side of virtual land? It's like saying, oh, I did my phone time and I was supposed to phone jam on Wednesday, but I'm not booked. But that was my phone time. Eddie. Eddie, were you raising your hand? I'm sorry. You're muted, sir. I'll unmute you. I got it.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that I remember taking TLA a lot over the course of last year in my first TLA time. But yeah, having the clarity and understanding it's like what you want to do or get done or how to do it, and you know what you need to do or how it needs to happen. You gotta highlight that. Oh hell no moment, like I can't do this or I'm not going to do this or just going like when to make certain choices with everything.
Yeah.
I got faced with that.
Yeah, oh hell no is equal to pleasing methods, pleasing results. It's another way of saying it. I'll give you one from the pilot, Luke. Luke, what's the oh hell no for your schedule going into the summer? This is part of my when we were golfing the other day or debriefing the summer. As far as your schedule. Like what was the plan going into the summer for Thursdays and what ended up happening?
Oh yeah. The second half of Thursday I was supposed to have off, but early in the summer, I mean, I remember just sticking around. I kind of did the whole summer pretty much. Just went on Thursdays because there are things that need to be done. Especially when we found out that Friday PDI was going to be as hard as it is with training. We had to kind of have all hands on deck for Thursday and be able to get in there and support with training too.
Yeah. Now I think there's a balance. I think there should have been a way, and one of my areas of opportunity this past summer was finding loop time that was promised. So that was an example, and that was.
We still worked one day less this week or this past summer.
I mean, that's the perspective I had, but I think, you gotta be careful that you can't keep pulling the, but we need help all the time, because then you're never really honoring any schedule. That's my point. But you're right. We did work one day less for the most part. And see, and Kirsten made the comment, you have to set your PRs on Saturday. For me, I would take it a different direction. Say you have to have a number set by going into the Monday. I don't care we didn't set any PR. In fact, I think we set less than 50 PRs the whole summer from Saturdays. But we were number one in the region, I think, with PR set. But we had staff and we got it done, and I hired people. But I think what Kirsten was talking, and Kirsten, I'll let you speak in a second. I think what Kirsten's saying is you got to find them. And for branches, Saturdays when you have time to do it. For districts, it might be different. I don't know. Kirsten, you were about to chime in.
Well, yeah, I was just saying, like, it's important. Well, I meant more like weekends, but just for me, it was like Saturday.
Yeah, right. Because yeah, that's when you had the time, right? That's the time when, okay, I have all this time to set. And then she went on this rampage. What did you sit on that one Saturday when you got pissed off?
25.
Like 25. It's 2 launch. That's 1 or 2 launch right there. So good stuff. Anything on Hell No? Okay.
One of reps not accountable.
Eddie.
Yeah, I just remember this is not my personal Ohana moment, but it ended up becoming this. It was a moment I noticed in Andrew. But we got down to Miami, like mid-April, and I'm actually thankful. But Andrew was living with me until he had moved into his apartment. And, I kept telling him going into it that, like, I'm gonna flip the switch. Like, as soon as I get down to Miami, like, I'm gonna be 100%. And he called me out on it because he had his oh hell no moment when me being his dom, like, I wasn't 100%. I wasn't like where I needed to be. And so he had his oh hell no moment that, like, he needed to get me where I needed to be. And eventually it helped me see my own oh hell no moment where I had my commitment that I made to myself, but I kept making my own excuses and lies to myself until finally say, like, oh hell no, like, I told myself I was going to commit. Like, I am going to stick to what I told myself so long ago, and get it done.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good point.
I think another thing to note is, when you're late April all the way through May, I think no matter where your office is, you kind of have to operate with that same standard. Because I remember that conversation, Eddie, where I remember when Andrew had like his oh hell no moment. But it was kind of like, it kind of starts as soon as all the staff is back and driving it all the way through that gold period of recruiting. It's a mindset they have, like, sometimes now, but I mean, it's going to be a pretty consistent thing, especially when we hit the summer.
Yeah, I agree. Once you pass gold period, you pass it. Like the pilot, we didn't miss gold period, but we didn't capitalize. I'd say we didn't miss it. We just didn't explode it like in 2017. So, and I'm going to go to Giovanni and then go to the next point. Remember what we're doing now. Notice we didn't have a long-winded opening comments. I want to get this debrief out because the whole point of Next Level, I probably should have started with this. The whole point of Next Level is for you to take your results to the next level. And how do you do that? We got to debrief. We got to assess. What's the next part? We have to adjust. And that's what the second half, after this debrief, we're going to adjust by setting our next level curriculum, which, by the way, and I know it's like, Dad, I know. Until you go to other families' houses for dinner, you don't realize I'm going to be teaching this at SOC again, and it is like the biggest light bulb ever when I say, yeah, we run a separate meeting just for the people who've done it before, and here's our curriculum, here's how we come up with the agenda on the first prep. And to them, it's like the biggest thing since sliced bread. For us, we've just always done it this way. We've always done it this way, in a good way. So, Giovanni, go ahead.
I didn't have anything.
Oh, Kirsten. Was it Kirsten?
No, she already said that.
No. Okay, we're going to move on. Next one. Ready? Stuck. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Stuck. Not in so many terms. In some cases, exactly with that term. I heard more often than I'm comfortable with, and I should have oh hell noted, is I'm stuck. From branches especially. And the lower down the chain from division manager pilot down, the more people, the worse the stuckness got. I'm not even going to hand you the CPO report for the branches. The branches, I'll give you more stats in just a second. $40,000 less average if they set less than 400 PRs for the summer, right? And I'll get the actual number. But if they set a certain amount of PRs above that number, their average was like $82,000 average, which matched last year, which was the biggest branch average in region history. Taking out Andrew, by the way. But if it's below a certain set number in their office, then the average was $40,000 less. It was like $29,000 average, painful. That means unless the expenses were a lower expense, these branches were having to sell their way out of debt. And our branches absolutely rocked personal sales, opposite. Right? Kirsten Casey rocked personal sales. Eric Palacio had really good personal sales. But outside, maybe I might be missing one or two, but we have people in our division whose CPO for personal sales for the summer were less than $1,000. So if you don't have a team, your office is shipping mierda caca poo poo. What the hell else? What the hell else are you doing? So just stuck. This is what I'm going to say about stuck. There's a reason why Andrew today is going to talk about how to get your business going. Because there are too many people that when recruits were coming in through the door through Facebook, or when the shows were bad from the interview, when the launch was awful, the quality wasn't great, there was just too many people that were stuck. But if you talk to a manager from old school Vector, and I mean old school, not even like 1990s anymore, because that's dinosaur. That's like Jurassic Park. I mean old school, like 6-7 years ago. If I said Mike Abramowitz, if I said Carlos Cordero, if your office had nothing going on, you had 0 recruits, terrible quality, what would you do? I'm calling over the Tampa. What would be like the first 3 things that come to mind?
Advertise, get out a bunch of business cards like apartment complexes and movie theaters.
Yep. What else? Grant Strayer, what would you do?
He's on.
No, he's on. No, Yep. Grant Strayer posted up at the sub shop Slicers. Now, a little biased because his dad owns it. I get it. I get it. But what I also get is that he sat there and he hustled, and he networked. Right? We're talking about you. We're talking about you, Bison. Right? If you're stuck, you go get recruits. There were too many branches across the region that were paralyzed when Facebook didn't convert. Right? Get on campus. The thought of, okay, so now you got to go hustle and grind and go find people. It was like, oh, it was almost like I'm too classy for that. Or how do you, Yet I go out in Wynwood, Miami, out to the bars and clubs with a couple of you, and I get out of the Uber, and there's one of Andrew's OCPs. Boggles my mind. And then I ask a branch that week, how many OCPs have you gotten out? Oh, I haven't gotten them out yet. Right? Carlos, if you were stuck, what would you do to get unstuck? Is Carlos there?
No, he stepped out.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So my point also, ready? I would find PR callers for my team. If not, I would put an ad in Craigslist. I know that seems so foreign, but ready? We did that only 1.5 years ago. That was part of the job. And I know it's foreign to a lot of you, but most businesses hire help, Most businesses don't have people that are college students that start with them and hire from within. But that's just part of it. I think that's really important. So get just the mentality of unstuck that stood out. Number 3, pleasing methods versus pleasing results. Okay. I'll come back to that. You guys know that. Old Faithful. I talked about this on the conference call. Luke, you'll appreciate this. Orlando, who's not here, would appreciate this. It has to do with golf. So Luke, help me out here for the non-golf fanatics. What has been the drama/conversation about Tiger Woods and his putter?
He just switched to the Cameron putter, right?
Yeah. What? And
that was the old one that he was clutch with, and
so yeah. So this Scotty Cameron is a brand of putter. The Newport 2 is the actual style, and I own one. It's so beautiful. Anyway, sorry. It's really awesome. So it doesn't mean I can putt well, by the way. I just have one. Okay. So this is the putter when Tiger was changing the game of golf, the setting the world on fire, winning all these major championships. And eventually he evolved. He had back surgery, and he went with a different putter, and he went with a different putter, and was struggling. And the commentator, that is Bones, on Golf Channel said, at the end of the day, I don't know any really successful long-term golfer, Hall of Fame golfer, that doesn't really just go back to the putter that got them there. Right? Think about that. Think about that. Any fitness fanatics here that love to work out? And yeah, let's say like Heidi is a gym rat. she's a gym rat, okay? But then when she's thinking about, well, I'm thinking about doing this one, and it was like this yoga stretch, some caca poo poo mirror. I don't know what the hell. She's like, I just want to change it up. And then she was like researching, and she tried. At the end of the day, she goes, I don't know who I'm fooling. I'm a gym girl. And I said, you're a gym girl. You should see her. She's a gym girl. And she goes back to Old Faithful. So when I think about, and by the way, I would be very careful. Innovation is important. We love innovation. In fact, I think all the answers of innovation come from the Eastern region nowadays, or in Central region nowadays. And United has a lot of innovation. In fact, some of our offices are like innovation hubs. Like Mike is on purpose, intentionally, one of our innovation stations, if you will, to test things that aren't going to be the norm, to see and compare data, which I love. We always have to have that. But here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. You have to know what Old Faithful is. What is the Scotty Cameron Newport 2 putter for the Eastern region, not just for Florida United? If you think of one program, and no districts on this one, what's the one program that is our Scotty Cameron Newport 2 putter? Oh, Orlando's there. Fire number, which is a subset of what program?
PR program.
PR program. PR program. Luke Maseko is on our task force nationally for the social media / PR program. It is that important that they're putting extra money, like almost $500,000 to $1 million, I think, into that task force for the company. The bread and butter of our region is always PRs. But here's the thing. Ready? PRs are bread and butter, but districts get ready. Mike and Jackson and Carlos, be ready for this on Tuesday. But the whole company is kind of pushing towards pleasing methods. They want to send it to this tech center, and we are. But the percentage they want to send makes it a lot easier. But why we want to go back? We'd have to spend more money. We'd have to. It's a pain in the ass to manage more people. But at the end of the day, last year when we were whooping everyone's butt, not this past summer, but in 2017, it's PR program. Oh, but I spent less money. You made less money. I hear that. I hear a lot from districts this year, but I spent less money, so more profitable. No, you're more profitable when you ship way more. In 2017, I spent less than normal, but I spent way more than most people. That was profit, high volume. Okay, so I just what do you think about Old Faithful? Old Faithful is we got to get back to Eastern Region PR program, not full blown, not hiring a whole staff of receptionists. But ready? You got to hit your fire number. You got to hit the office number. Okay? I'll stop there. Stuck, pleasing methods, pleasing results, Old Faithful. Comments, questions, light bulbs on that one. This is my data / sales pitch for those of you that have never hired people before to know that you're going to have to hire receptionists. Branches, you should have one receptionist. For me personally, I would have two because you need a backup. And the higher you go, the more receptionists you need, up to probably the pilot with 3 or 4. Right? Pillar offices, 2 or 3. New offices, 1 or 2. Branches, at least 1. That's got to be part of the program. Because if I want to get 40 set to survive, to really hit my oh hell no number, you can set 40 yourself, but then you're just staying in your office for 6 days a week. Who's set PRs here? Everyone, right? You've all set PRs. How many hours does it take? How much effort does it take to set 40 by yourself? It would take like 4 days, 3-4 days, maybe 5. So you're not running interviews. You're not PDIing your people. You're not running training. I mean, then you're just a glorified receptionist that has a branch manager title. That's no fun. Okay. Any takeaways from Old Faithful? Eddie, are you gonna buy a Scotty Cameron Newport 2? It's $500. Okay, go ahead, sir.
I mean, I scratch a letter. No, I mean, I'm just thinking about it like conceptually. Not like, very little faithful. I just remember my first summer when right after SC2, I learned a lot, all the innovation and everything, like so they take my demo to the next level. And I ended up having 10 straight no sales back to back, and couldn't really kind of get out of it. So I finally reached back out for help from Andrew, and you're just like, go back to the manual and just keep it real, keep it simple, or just exactly how it's done. And go figure. I went back and just stuck to your own people, and just conceptually is what I'm thinking about. Now just remembering your roots and how things are supposed to be done, and not getting into all the fancy stuff, and everything kind of clicks back.
Yeah. and I want to be careful too, because we have to evolve as a company, Eddie. We have to evolve. We have to have a tech center, we have to do social media. But our bread and butter is PR program, man. Our bread and butter is setting more PRs. And there's a time where people would argue, oh yeah, but you spend all that money, but we sell so much. Yeah, but you're spending money, but we sell so much. And we're not even trying to go back to the 2011, 12, 13 days where I would spend like 40 grand in the summer. I'm talking about, I used to have 12 receptionists in the summer. Look, perspective, I used to staff 10 to 12 receptionists every summer. 10 to 12 receptionists. This summer, 4. Branches used to have 2 or 3 sometimes. Luke, how many receptionists did you have, or were supposed to have when you branched? 3?
No, 5.
5.
No, 4.
4. 4.
4 or 5.
4. I'm saying 1. I'm saying branches 1, maybe 2 for backup. So just food for thought. Let's not lose that. I want to go to the next one here. Fire number. Do me a favor. Open up the folder. Open up the folder for next level I sent, please. And I'll put some of this. Open up the folder, por favors, por favors. Okay. And I want you to open up.
The handouts, right?
Yep, handouts.
Okay, it says this for me.
Oh.
Not your phone.
Not because it's phone. I'll put it up on the board. Number 2, I want you to open up number 2 where it says Pilots and Districts Summer 2018 CPO ranking. So perhaps the hubs, if you could put it up onto the screen. Or I'm going to put it onto my screen, actually. I'll take that back home. Okay. You guys see it? Good to go? Yeah, I'm just going to share for our guys up here, and you guys can put it on your screen. So pull it up on your computer and just put it up. Or everyone pull it up on their computer real quick. That might be easier. Because I can't share screen it here on my TV and for the Zoom. Everyone got it? Give me a thumbs up so I see it. Nefty, get some water. Hot tea. Oh my gosh, hot tea. Stop drinking beer.
Vodka, Jack.
Yeah.
No, it's Black Claw, White Claw. I know about it. Kirsten introduced me to that.
Yeah, same. Same.
Thumbs up if you got it. Thumbs up if you got the report. Thumbs up. Tampa, you guys got the report up?
Almost.
Or if you have your computer, just pull it up on the files. It's right there. Okay, I'm gonna move. So here, I'm gonna put this on the TV up here for our guys. Take a look. Okay. This is really interesting. Look, here's the highest to CPO, lowest to CPO. So pile it up from Luke. I gotta unmute someone. Can you all mute yourself, please? Okay. So from the pilot up, did $1 million for the summer. This is how much was new. 587 new, all the way up to 8. I mean, Ketchum had a massive summer. 820 new. They did 1.3 million for the summer. Pretty awesome. Okay. But I would say, you know, just looking at all the new business here, okay, look at the direct correlation between lots of PRs. Okay. 203 launch, 128, 168, 148, pilot 118. But look at the set number. The third highest was Larry's 1800. Second highest. Third highest was. Can you fix this, please? It's usually up here. David's got technical difficulties. No, it's back here.
You just gotta jiggle it. There you go.
There you go. Thanks for jiggling it, Dave. Dave, jiggle it. Okay, Dave, stop. Don't ever jiggle again.
That was iconic.
Okay. But here's what you see. The personal PRs too. And I know Andrew, this is probably not really Andrew. But look at what's happening here. Okay? And look at the branches. Where's
It's not. It's just district.
This is just the districts, okay. So there's a direct correlation between amount of PR set. Okay. Mike may have had the most important statement of his debrief. It's that magic number of getting PR set for the summer. You get that, you win. Any questions so far? Okay, I want to show you now. I'm going to put this on the screen. I want to show you a territory in our region. Okay. So if you can actually pull it up for yourself. If you go to the handouts next level, it's handout number 3, PR stats, same territory, 4 years. I'll put it on the television here. Okay, for those of you that are watching on Zoom, it looks like
You adjust the screen towards the TV.
it looks like that. You guys see that on Zoom? Okay. You guys have it up on your computers?
Yep.
Okay, just you can share. Take a look. So I took out the name of the territory. It doesn't matter. This is in our region. Okay. 4 years in a row. Look at the difference in CPO. Same territory. In fact, I verified to make sure it wasn't, there's something about the territory getting more or less the exact same population in zips. Income for income, zip for zip. Look at the difference in CPO. Look at how many PRs launched, and look how many PRs were set in that office. When that office said almost 600, they shipped 125. Went back to the same territory, did 240. But then the next year only set half the PRs, and the CPO dropped to 40,000. And this past summer, set not even 100, and the CPO is 13 grand. Doesn't matter what territory it is. What matters is the PRs. And I have like 10 of these. Another example. I mean, I could go up and down. I can do Aventura. Do you know that Eric Pelosi was the #1 branch in the region? So it was like undercover. No one really got. He didn't really get that recognition. And say a prayer for his family. He had a death in the family. But #1 in the region. Okay. Do you know that we have yet until this summer to have an office go to Aventura that broke any type of big profitable number? But he's going to be approaching $180,000, almost 200. The difference was PRs. So just food for thought on that one. Food for thought. I'll stop there on fire number. Takeaways. Light bulbs. Commentary. Just no jiggling.
Please no.
Please no. Oh dear Lord, please no.
It's seriously all about the PRs.
Yeah. So when someone says to you, when you're thinking about should I hire a receptionist, if the receptionist quit, is my energy worth just, oh, well, I'll just manage my team, I'll settle myself, or get the receptionist. Hire the help. Oh, and by the way, it's not as easy as just hire them, because a lot of receptionists quit it because most people aren't good or proficient or have learned how to get the experience of hiring people. Like Andrew to this day is still one of the worst people at hiring and retaining receptionists. Seriously, yeah. One of the worst in my career. So what does he do? He puts a lot of his people on staff to do it, and he's going to also hire next summer too. I promise. Other thoughts on fire number? I'm going to read an email from Scott. This I want you to see, and I'd like you to take notes on this one. I'm going to give you some data here. Everyone ready for some data? Here's the data. Ready? BMs that got 400 plus. I'll write this down. BMs that got 400 plus PR set. Okay, averaged $82,000 in business. Okay. Off the top of my head, that's probably a $7,000 to $15,000 profit. Off the top, some range. Okay, and this is similar to the average the prior year when we had the best branch class in region history. If they were less than 400, the exact number, was 38,000. Half. Okay. Last summer, we dipped from a 440 PR average, so 2017. The average was 440 PR set for branches. This year, anyone want to guess? So 440? Want to guess?
352.
228. Nice. Go Gators.
Wow.
Right? 228. 258. Sorry, even worse. Not as bad. By 30. Still bad. Okay. And we gave up, right? Here's the difference in CPO. $40,000 in CPO. Maggie, would you have liked another $40,000 CPO and the profit that comes along with it?
I would.
Kirsten Casey, Grant Strayer, Galila Kolar, Amanda Swanson, Zach Schachter. I'm just naming a few. Would you have liked another $40,000+? It's all PR related. Okay. This is why PR's set is so important. Okay. And here's what I'll say: we can get this 40 grand back, no problem. You just got to go back to Old Faithful. You just got to go back to the closet where you left the putter. And I know that new sexy putter with the new technology looks all cool, and it's matte black. But that putter won you championships. Our championship putter is the PR program. Okay. Other comments, questions? Okay. Let's keep going. On to the notes. Receptionists. Receptionists. Okay. Let me just make it really easy. Go to the next handout. I'm going to make it really simple for you. I'll draw the map. And it looks a little something like this. Hit it. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Looks like Easter region PR direction for you guys in front of me. Looks like this. Okay. So if you take a look. Where's that handout? Okay. So this is a plan, and it might be adjusted a tiny bit, but for the most part, if you look, during the 10 peak weeks of recruiting, take a look. Division pilots, we're looking to set 225 per week. Luke, during our peak, what were we averaging per cycle in the pilot? What were we setting a week?
120. By staff.
No, the whole staff. Whole staff.
Yeah, about 120.
120. So the goal will be to set 225 per week, right? That's 75 to 120 from the staff and PSM, which we got. Another 100 to 150 set by additional help. So it's about 60 to 90 hours of additional help per week. And you go down the beam row all the way, and you can go to the branches. 40 set per week. You set 20. Take a look. It says 20 set by the branch and 20 set by additional help. Another 15 hours worth of work. And if you're paying $10 bucks an hour, that's $150 a week. For 10 weeks, that's $1,500 of your investment to simply get what's going to be guaranteed business for you. And if it guarantees you 400 set during those 10 weeks, that's 400 set. What's the launch ratio? 15 to 1? What's 400 divided by 15? What's 400 divided by 15? I'm going to show you the math.
26.
That's 26. Okay. And they average it. That's 2 to 4K PPR. That's the range. So you're talking anywhere between 50 to 120K extra on your CPO. We're not just going to make it back. We're going to go ahead next year, if and when you follow through. Application, though. Cool. Questions on that? I'll stop there. Light bulbs or questions or commentary? Luke, I kind of want to go back to you because you were in a branch in the era of receptionists, and you did. What was your final branch number?
241.
241. So what can you speak to with receptionists?
I mean, you got to get ahead of it really early. I think that's the first priority in your office when you're opening. I remember I was doing a lot of active advertising for receptionists. That's exactly, where I got them. I met one in a Starbucks, a couple on campus. But, getting those as early as possible. I know my plan for my district is going to be, staffing those as fast as possible, as many as I can early. You have to overhire because, you have to compensate where people leave or stuff. You can't have holes in your ship where it's going to be drowning you one critical week in May if you don't hit your number.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments? Pretty straightforward. Here's one thing I know that we messed a lot of things up in the pilot this summer, and we still got to $1 million, and we still had The 586 new is still going to be probably top 10 summers, I think. I don't know the exact number. So really, really great success amidst what was a really rough May. Okay, I'll start. And those of you on the staff know that we use May as a great example for the future. But what we got right is we kept recruiting the answer. Okay. Next thing, KEP percentage. This is really interesting. Let me tell you a cool story. So in July, the new district managers were struggling, just like the branches. So in July, we called an audible. We had Jackson, Tyler, Sean, Brandon, and also Orlando came over to the pilot. Instead of running training in the middle of SC2 push, which could be considered heresy, came over to watch the pilot run training and run first weekend PDI. And light bulbs everywhere. And one of the biggest things we noticed is that the KEP percentage was too low. Okay, so I want you to follow me on this one. I know it's early, so process this. Why would someone have a lower than normal or too low KEP percentage? What's the philosophy behind that? In fact, one of you said it as your debrief. I think it was Amanda. Amanda, what's the philosophy of low KEP percentage?
Being super selective.
Yeah, be super selective in the beginning. Why? Yeah, to have the right people on the ship. Okay, and I think, as I said, a lot of people took this way too far, in some parts of Florida United. Okay, where it was this really weird belief almost that to be successful and ready, I can say it this way now. There was this culture of, not everyone, where for me to have a successful office, I can only recruit sharp, rich prep school kids. And I know, oh, well, Metro Miami, that's all they had. I get it. That's not really all they had. I've been in your meetings. All your reps aren't like that. Trust me. I'll show you some pictures that I took to prove it. Not that way. It's weird. I was being nice on that. I'm just saying, right? It's not. It's almost this elitist mentality. And it's really interesting. Some people that said that are themselves not sharp prep school rich kids. So what the F? Right? It's really, think about that. That's like saying I'm only going to have a company with smart Harvard people because those are people that are successful. Where'd you go? Broward. So we went to Broward, yes, but doesn't make sense, nor will you probably attract those people in some cases. So I went around at this meeting. We had Chinese food over at a place called Hong Kong Barbecue, which we might partake in tonight if you choose. And I went around and I said, so tell me, in your office, what is the protocol? What's the system? What are the steps to determine if you keep someone or not? And the caca poo poo mierda I heard, well, if they have to be sharp, what does that mean? Right? And then the one manager that's they have to be sharp, and it was just, and there were 5 different answers. It was unbelievable, just crazy. And so we created a benchmark of just, okay, no, if yes, then yes, if no, then no. And it's so funny. Ready? So one of the people who was like that was Sean Powell. Sean Powell had one of the most idiotic, asinine answers I've ever heard. I don't remember. It was so bad, his answer of who he keeps, that I think I spit up the fried rice out of my mouth. So what the hell does that mean? I don't know. Like you said, I don't know. Well, we fixed that. And now it's, okay, if this, and we'll share that later. And it's a little bit more, it's a lot more open net than he thought. He's made the comment, yeah, I really took that to heart when you said be really selective too much. Last week, Sean Powell was #1 in the region for new offices, new business. So has 10 in training again, I think, and $14,000 new. I mean, I said, how's your team? He goes, well, they're not all the sharpest knives in the set. You know what I'm saying, Jeff? But we're shipping a lot of knives, and it's fun. So think about that. Just be careful with the KEP percentage. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I know we have commentary there. Come on.
We went up this year.
What's that?
I can comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said this when I walked into when you guys were doing this meeting late, but the 2 kids that kind of fueled most of my PRs after getting the initial Beckham slicers were both literally like from Haiti, like just came over, work super hard, both athletes, but like not a good background. Only one mom or one dad living with them in the United States. And then other than that, they would travel back and forth to Haiti to visit their family. But they, like, lucky enough, they were a prep school kid. They just didn't have like a good background to study, but just really hardworking.
Yeah, this in a weird way, twisted way, goes back to no matter how different people are, their whys are similar. If someone can be successful with their business, no one said you have to be a sharp, rich person. Right? If I were to go around the B road just in front of me, I got David Delgado, Lauren Miro, Erica Balinson, Maggie Cardenas, Giovanni Pastrana, and what's your name? Mila Amy. All right. Raise your hand if you feel like you come from an upper income family. 2 of you. Raise it, bro. What is this? Right? I would say I was like upper middle class, lower upper class, depending on
like upper middle.
Maybe. Okay. So 2 out of 6, and there's nothing wrong with if you have to raise your hand. 2 out of 6. So if we only made that the criteria, we would have 1/3 the TLA class here and probably 1/3 the TLA class everywhere else. And don't get me wrong, would we want all those people? Because yeah, but you know what? There's also no proven success for those people for management. Yeah, they might sell more, better networks, better contacts, but there's something to be said about someone who was raised to grind and raised to have to hustle. I'm not telling you to just look for people off the streets and say, well, let me give everyone a chance. That's not what we're saying. But man, I think it's really important that we be careful with that KEP percentage. And I'm going to end up, and David's going to forward this to me during the break. I'm going to share with you later the metrics of, okay, these are the questions Sean and the new districts have been asking. Now, they may not have all super sharp prep school kids because some of their territories, frankly, don't have a lot of prep schools. Like if you take Ocala, Florida, there's no way possible that it's going to compare to a Metro Miami with number of prep schools. But also, most people don't get Metro Miami for their territory. Let me say it again. All of you will not get a Metro Miami for a territory, that type of a territory. That are going branch. Luke's going, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Stop there. Anything else on KEP percentage? Any light bulbs from the summer or light bulbs for now?
Yeah, one of the things for right now in Clearwater, we're just saying, can they sell $1,000? They can sell $1,000. We'll keep them.
Yeah. What's the old school like beat your chest Cutco saying? Are they not good enough to be on the team, or you're not good enough to train them?
Whoa.
Whoa, bro. Where's the Carolina division when you need them? Whoa. What else? Those of you that ran offices, do you feel like you took it too far?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I personally took it too far, especially towards the beginning of the summer. More towards the end, I was, kind of accepting more people than I did at the beginning. And there was one kid, he was actually from my worst school in the Port Charlotte area, has like one parent with a career. I wasn't going to keep him. He's actually now my top rep. He's close to $30,000 for the summer, and he's in TLA now and excited.
The Aiden?
Yeah, it's Aiden.
By the way, it's funny you said he wasn't that sharp. Aiden's one of the sharpest kids I interviewed. How stupid does that sound? Like our view of who's sharp or not. You gotta be careful. You gotta be really careful. If we did this whole who's comes from a rich prep school with all of United, I think we would have Florida United. For sure. For sure. We did it at the DVM table. The only people that raised their hand were me and Ben. I wouldn't say I would raise my hand compared to Ben. And someone said, "Put your hand down, Jeff." Ben, you're rich. So it was funny. You had to be there. Any other takeaways on KEP percentage?
I have one, Jeff.
Yes, Kiera, please.
I think I took it way far, but I think I took the idea of hiring people that are like yourself type of thing. You have to keep in mind you're not going to find an idea of the flow of yourself. And like the idea of hiring people that are similar to you, I think it only take you to a certain level of now. I'm not going to find another Kirsten Casey. Not saying I'm like the greatest of all time. I'm just saying I'm not going to find someone just like me. And it was hard for me to realize that, and that's why my percentage was really low, because I was looking for me and other people, and I wasn't looking for other people.
Yeah. And part of it too is if the quality is so bad, but the quality is so bad, Well, then ready? You have to hustle to get better quality in your team. Don't be stuck. Active advertise. Put OCPs out. You guys get that? Like, if you don't like your team, you gotta create the quality of your team. Number two, Kirsten said, well, you can't just look for people just like you. Guess what? You ever see managers that are they're all kind of similar? It's not that you'll find people that you attract that are like you. It's that you will develop them to be like you. There's a difference, right? We're not in a people matching company. We're in a people development company, right? Is that a light bulb? Yeah. We're not in a people matching company. This isn't, oh, well, our goal is to try and match it. Our goal is to bring people and bring them up to us, right? We're the thermostat, not the thermometer. We set the temperature, not mirror it. And that's the whole goal of leadership. That's the whole goal of mentorship. You guys, all of you love mentorship. That's part of why you love being Florida United and Cutco and Vector trained. So just food for thought on that one. Last thing, one of my great, and this is back to Grant Strayer, one of my favorite moments this summer is watching Grant get unstuck, turn his caca pupa mierda around. He started crushing it, and then I met his team. And I remember going, holy shit, this is Naples? And I went, this is recruiting. Like you would think. I remember on Zoom, Grant, I remember on the Alliance, and I was like, this team is crushing it, and oh my gosh, I can't wait to see all these kids rock Mercedes Benz, I bet. And I looked at them, I remember, and Naples is here. What the hell? Shipping and crushing it. And crushing it.
A good chunk of them didn't even have cars.
Yeah. They were like
two of my biggest sellers. They couldn't own the car, and then eventually bought their own car.
Yeah, and I'm gonna end with one more point. I went to the conference, and this is when I knew we had gone too far. I went to SC1, and 2 or 3 district managers, some vet, some new, said, yeah, it's just we don't have the same type of quality team. It's not as sharp as I'd like. And I looked at their team and I said, what the hell? This is our team. Your team is awesome. And they thought their team wasn't, because they were trying to get to these super sharp, rich white. Most of your territories don't have more than 1, 2, 3, maybe prep schools. Anyway,
How many?
Porchelle didn't have any prep schools. She outshipped most of you. You don't need prep schools. Okay, and most territories that have prep schools are district markets anyway, or higher level markets that take time to get and earn. Light bulbs, yes?
Yep.
Okay, I got a couple more. The rest kind of fly faster. Getting to territory earlier. Oh my gosh.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Get into your territory early. And I do this in Olean. I say in Olean ahead of time, this is considered early. I'm sorry, year banquet. This is considered early. This is considered right on time. This is considered late. Whatever weeks I give you. We had too many people getting to the end of right on time and late. Way too many people. Luke, can you speak to this for a second? I know it was only probably a week behind, but can you, for the pilot?
Yeah, I was about a week behind last year, and so this year I'm coming back in January because that week was seriously.
Luke, actually, aren't you coming back next week? You're coming back next week.
Wait, how do you do that January thing?
Yeah.
You graduate.
But Luke, can you speak to it from a pilot results? Remember that comment you made on one of our debriefs? You go, yeah, I got back about blank late. We're behind this much. It matches up exactly like that whole thing.
Yeah, and we were just tracking like PR said from the previous summer, and different little standards like that, and comparing. And we were exactly just 2 weeks behind on everything for the summer. What that does is it doesn't line you up properly for pushes. We didn't have as big of an SC1 alliance, so it really took us until SC2 to really get rolling again, kind of similar to where we were the summer before. All because we were just 2 weeks late. You don't have that exponential growth from week to week from getting all PRs.
To the degree that Luke came back later, and there were reasons, and he definitely worked on it. I mean, he wasn't negligent, but to the degree that Luke came back later was the degree that we lost CPO. And I'll take it off Luke. To the degree that we got things started later. So here's my overall benchmark for that one. The ideal scenario is you're coming back to your territory from kickoff. The ideal scenario. Okay. Now, 1 week later, you could be okay and still have a big summer. But ideal, you're done with everything you need. You might have to go back for one final or take something virtual, but you can operate in your territory, start hitting lit on campus, start hardcore Facebooking for interviews, start going to Starbucks and recruiting people at Slicers. You can do all that starting the Monday we get back from Jacksonville. And by the way, this year we're on a Friday with the AM meeting Saturday. So instead of being Saturday, you come back Sunday. We're going to be Friday, come back Saturday, so you're ready to roll for Monday. It switches every year. Any questions? Okay. Another thought. Facebook program, pretty straightforward, not on point, not as aggressive. Two things happened. Either managers didn't get as many PRs as they should have for friending, or they weren't as aggressive on sending the messages. So let me go around the horn. If you ran a branch, I'm going to call on you. I'd like you to tell me how many friends did you have from your market when we, by the time we got to kickoff, roughly. And it doesn't have to be the exact number, right? So Maggie, how many did you have? How many friends to start the summer?
To start the summer, I honestly don't remember.
Okay, that's probably maybe an indicator, right? Okay. Kirsten, how many friends did you have going into the summer?
About 1,100.
1,100, okay. Grant?
I was probably on the low end. I'm probably around 700 or 800. About
Okay.
7 or 8.
Yeah. Swanson? Shakta?
I had 1,800.
Shakta, okay. Swanson?
Yeah, I was at that 2K mark.
Anyone else I'm missing? Dalila?
I had 2,000.
Okay. Do you know what? Do you know the number that everyone was supposed to have by the time summer started? 2,000. Yeah. So then, ready? When you don't have that friend network, you don't have enough to blast. If you don't have enough to blast, you don't have activity. If you don't have activity, you don't have quality recruits coming in. So get to your territory early and make sure you hit the freaking. We even announced territories 2 weeks, 3 weeks earlier. So can anyone speak to that? Like those of you that didn't hit 2,000, so Grant and Kirsten, those of you that are 1,800, can you either what happened or some words of advice or what you're going to do differently? And here's what's great. Here's what's great. Grant's next. Everything I'm talking about is easily fixed. Work harder and diligently on getting out of finals the moment you get back to spring. Get your Facebook friends up and hire a receptionist and don't be lazy about it. I mean, all this stuff is easy to get that 40,000. I think it's going to be more for some of you back. Grant.
Yeah. So I think last year was kind of a few things, but I think I just wasn't really on top of the benchmarks, and that definitely I got behind, and it was hard to get picked up. I also think that I had trouble starting. Max Preps wasn't really giving me much to work with, and I wasn't having much to like feed off of, which is an excuse, and we don't take excuses anymore. So I think that was a big thing. I also think it was not really on top of it last year. Like I said, like my biggest thing was like in my spring, my prep for the summer was really bad, and that led into my May being really bad.
Yeah. You know, Grant, can I share pleasing methods results from me to you, not you to me, a different one? So this is for everyone. Grant and I had a conversation, and I totally fell into pleasing methods results. He said, for the fall, I'm going to focus less on getting prepped, but here's the agreement, I'll grind in the spring. And I said, okay, that was a pleasing method on my part. And what did he just admit? By the way, very courageously, what did he just admit? That he didn't prep in the spring. So my pleasing method was, okay, well, I don't really want to have that tough conversation with Grant. It's just getting back to school. We grinded the summer. I should have had that tough conversation with Grant. And maybe we'd have gotten to a different outcome, but at least I would have had that conversation to get things started and be more diligent with that. And I take, I take responsibility in a certain sense. But so does Grant, which is great. Oh, great. It's really nice hearing you. You're killing it right now. It's like
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Mike.
Might be worth mentioning, if I'm sitting in the room right now and I'm thinking about being a branch or trying to earn my spot for next summer as a district or whatnot, but I'm like a little unsure about what role I'll be in next summer, and I can't necessarily like start friending because it's I don't know the territory and whatnot. What's on my mind is like, how can you still right now own the process or the habit or the thought pattern that goes behind the friending or goes behind the social media or whatnot? Like, how do you win the mental game or the I don't know, the decision train at this point in time where you can actually like be prepared and you can start doing the activities later. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. What to do now so that you don't end up like what these examples that they're giving, even if you're not necessarily all in for branch. Okay. Because I said this to one of the calls yesterday for my 8-player calls. The 30 people I'm having one-on-one calls with and the next level group should staff the division. I see big leadership roles. So if you're ready, whether you had a letter of intent or not, like Zach said, he was submitting his letter after the weekend. Some people are kind of on the fritz. Some of them already have it in. So let's try to answer Mike's question there for a second. Mila.
Well, you don't have to be super close to an office to be involved in their Facebook program. I know I'm heavily involved in Gainesville, so I'm currently doing the Facebook program for the Gainesville office and like coordinating with delegating to the staff and everything. So I feel like since it's something virtual, you could like get in those habits now.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Mike can speak to this at some point, maybe during the break, but you don't have to be in your own office to be in your own office. What do I mean by that? It's called the computer. It's called the internet. It's called FaceTime. So it could be Facebooking. It could be the internet. It could be, hey, Mike, I really am not good at blank. Can you FaceTime me in or Zoom and plug me in when you're doing blank? There's no excuse. Oh, I don't live near an office. And technology makes it really hard for you to give that excuse now. Mike, do you have did you have a thought on that as well?
I wanted to stimulate conversation, but Zach had a thought. But what I think it was Mila that just said.
Yeah.
What was my thought was don't wait. Like the habits don't all of a sudden start in the spring. Like get involved in the local
Yeah, that's what Grant just said. Grant, one of your big three was I was away in Indiana, but virtually. I mean, I'd only run my first interview way later than I should have. I mean, there's no excuse to miss training opportunities in the fall. It doesn't matter where you go to school.
And it's only going to help you with January push. It's going to help you with the December recruiting. And what you do is you drop and reload. So just like a branch, you drop all your friends that you created and then reload for the fall. And then in the fall you create them all for winter break and then drop and then reload. And you create a new market for your spring when you know where you're going to brand the next 8 months. So it's like drop and reload your friends. And Zach also had a point that he wanted to make.
Shaq that.
Just like having like a good image. So like posting stuff, remaining active, liking other people's things. Like it would be cool to have 2,000 friends in your territory, but it would also be cool to have 2,000 friends like around wherever you live, and then you'll have 4,000 followers, which like looks really good as like an influencer. Messaging.
Yeah, that's just social media etiquette, right? Someone with less followers is less likely to get follows.
That's true. Yeah.
Credibility.
And the thought on Instagram right now, like, Casey, who is the Dom at Nick Smith's office, she has almost 13,000 followers. So even beyond Cutco, say she's with Cutco for another couple of years, whatever, and she has 15, 20, 25,000 followers. Now she's a public figure. So it's like, no matter what field you go into, to be a public figure beyond Cutco is pretty sweet that you have created all those followers on your Instagram platform for yourself. So follow 50 a day or whatever you can do, just to continue creating yourself a profile on Instagram too.
Yeah, we're going to dive into that. And someone made a comment at the DVM table and I crushed it. One of our meetings, maybe it was a DM meeting. They said, yeah, but unless someone is sharp, they're not going to get people to follow them on social media. You need sharp people to track. And I think I said that was bullshit. That's the same rationale as keeping only elite people. You can have a professional profile if you didn't go to rich white prep school. Right? I can attract. Does anyone view Mike Abramowitz as a high, well-to-do prep school, country club kind of guy? I definitely do. I definitely do. Right? But how does he get those guys on his team? Image doesn't. It's not you're attracting people who are like you only. It's people like you or people they want to be like. This is Alliance 101. People are attracted to people like themselves. Okay, Andrew's going to get more frat guys on the team. Fine. Luke's going to get more athletes on the team. Fine. I'm going to get more handsome, well-dressed, unbelievably successful, benevolent father type figure. I get it. But I also look at our TLA team and see a lot of people not like me at all, but maybe want to aspire not to be like me, but to emulate things and maybe habits that we have and a life to live. And that's I think that's a really important point. Mike, nice work. Any other?
Can I say something about the Facebook?
Maggie, go ahead.
All right, so one thing that I know I didn't do as well this summer is having a set schedule to send the 50 messages on Facebook. So I know whenever I was at Dom for Orlando's office when he opened up, every morning, 5 a.m. like clockwork, we got this from Mike, we would wake up, send 50 PRs, and either go work out or go back to sleep, but we would always wake up at like 5 to send the 50 messages, because when people wake up, the first thing they do is check their phones. So I think with doing that, we were able to finish number 2 in we were number 2 for the summer. So, and I think I should have done that better this year as a branch.
You can control that.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I interject?
Yes, please.
I do think that it's important not to overestimate yourself and think that you can get all of it. Like, you have to be consistent with adding over fall or over spring once you get your territory, and you cannot save it to the last minute, because it doesn't matter who you are, you're not going to be able to acquire 2,000 friends from doing it a week before you go out to your branch. And I think that's something that, like, I had 1,100, but I overestimated how many I would be able to add and how many I'd be able to get before I get back to my territory. And I could have had a lot more if I just made it like a habit. And then
That's got to be hell no.
Yeah.
That's got to be no hell no. 2,000 friends. It's got to be a hell no. 2,000 friends and 400 PR set. 40 a week. Those are your 3 hell no's I can tell you right now. 40 PR set a week. You got to get 2,000 friends. What's the third one? You got to get 2,000 friends. 40 PR set a week. 400 plus for the summer. Those are the 3. The 4th one, get to your territory within a week of kickoff. If you make those 4 oh hell no's, you're already controlling the game right now. You're not starting the game minus 10. Questions, comments?
You have to clarify, this 400 PR set, is that including conveyor?
I would say 400 staff PR set.
So 400 staff PR set that's either themselves or assistant, receptionist, whatnot.
Correct.
So that would be calls. So that would be calls, no IAP type of PR set.
Correct. And we have that system set, everyone. Okay. In fact, could I have someone, Mila, can you type out those 4 oh hell no's during the break and send them to me? And I'll start. Okay. Last few things. Video interview, live interview. And I want to preface this because Mike's on the video interview. This is not according to Mike. But this is really for everyone else. And Mike and I will have a different discussion. But ready? I'm going to give you an example, and I'd like you to write down the numbers so you can see this. I'm just going to read Scott's email here. I think you'll find this very interesting. Okay. And this is actually directly from Scott's opening comments at our DVM meeting. So I want to quote Scott here. Okay. So everyone able to absorb, focus? Yep. Okay. Scott's referencing this overall culture of pleasing methods versus pleasing results. Okay. And he's feeling like across the region. I'm just texting. Okay.
Sorry.
So over-relying on conveyor versus humans setting PRs is an example that he gave. Okay. Another example is video interview. So a couple points. So video interview is those of you that have just heard where you run a pre, there's parts of an interview you run, and another part of it you just play video and then you run the post. I'm not doing it justice, okay? There's no statistical evidence to this being a win, okay? If anything, it's more pleasing not to have to do so much. In fact, the argument by anyone that I talk to in the country is that it saves the manager energy, right? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with wanting to save the manager energy. But this is why I'm removing Mike Abramowitz. If I'm Mike Abramowitz, I'm married, I'm about to set up a family, I want to save energy for me and perhaps my staff. But if I'm running my own office and I only have 8 to 10 weeks to recruit, you see that? if I'm running an organization that I know gets better numbers, there was a region manager call. Check this out. I want you to write these numbers down. Write these numbers down. There was a region manager that shared that they had 2 divisions go to the video interview. So you can write down 2 divisions video interview. And I'll go like this. And we'll go to break. I'm almost done with this. So we have 2 interviews, 2 divisions go to the video interview. Okay? And they went from a 43% show to 42% show. Okay? And the other one went from a 42 to 41. You could argue that's not a big deal, but it saves people energy. I get it. That's cool. And I respect that. Then that region manager had another division that said, you know what, I'm thinking I want to go on the video interview. Why? Because it'll save my people energy. They're getting a 57% show. So the region manager says, this division wants to change their interview to go here to save energy for a 42 or 43% show. Right? And then there's a division at, I'm sorry, this division is at 47%. Thinking about going to the video. And then there's a division at 50% that says, why the hell would I do any of that? Right? Scott's question, quote, why on earth would a division getting 47% consider going to an interview that gets 41 to 42%? Why isn't this division talking about how to get to the 50%? Why? Because this takes more work to get up and run an interview. Pleasing methods, pleasing results. But that's the mentality. Think about it, like logically. Ready? Forget interviews. There is a demo, and be careful, I'm not bashing Trey Ketchum here. There is a demo that gets 47, a video demo, let's say, I'm just making something up. Let's say you're getting an average order, your closing ratio is 60%, and you're getting an average order of $300. There's a video demo. Okay, the closing ratio is way higher. It's like 80%, but your average order is like $100. And then there's this really, really in-depth demo. It takes more work, but you get a higher average order. Right? I would be thinking, how do I get more sales? And it's very similar here. It's very similar here. Okay, so just that's the first thing, and I want to give another example on this one. And I can give stats, okay? And this is, I'm only sharing these stats with the next level because what I'm going to share, all this stuff, needs to kind of stay in house. I'm sharing it with I'm sharing it with like the oldest kids in the family, if you will, okay? I want to share some stats here that I think are going to be compelling. And again, this is removing Mike, who we've already agreed he was going to be on video interview because he's also he's our innovation test office. This is different. He's on the test group for this, okay? Carolina, okay? Georgia, Florida Caribbean side of Florida United, okay? Virginia, okay? And there's Florida Gulf, which for the most part virtual, a video interview. Coastal Division went completely to video. Right. So far, so good. 2017 and 2018. Can you guys see what I'm writing here? Virtually, can you guys see me? Good, okay. So these are the divisions that were on live interview. It takes more energy. It's not pleasing methods. In fact, I hate the thought of having to run an interview, honestly. Okay. And nothing would please me more to be able to just push a button, sit there. I get it. And I know I'm going to be careful. I'm not trying to knock it. I get it because there are people who are approved and it works for them and it's good. Okay. So Carolina, watch this. 52. So not a little bit of a change. Okay. 46%. Even 46%. Virginia Division. 46%, 46%. Florida Caribbean, 50%. We did for a little 47%. Okay, so you notice from last year to this year, the people in the live interview went down a little, even, went down a little, went even. With me so far? Okay, Coastal. $48. %, and the golf 49 to 42. Okay. So 90% of the coastal division, okay, I'm sharing this with you, used the video interview, and it went down by 3%, 3 or 4 percentage points. And it sounds like, from my understanding, the majority of golf, went on video interview. The two divisions with the biggest drops were the ones that went to video interview. In the Northeast region, the two divisions that went on it decreased by another 1 or 2 percentage points. It seems pretty common to see shows in the 41 to 43% range, but not better. Okay, so the low 40s across the company. And it takes away the ability, in some cases, I know we're not about charisma, but when I think of Eddie De Las Cuevas and why he gets a good show, it's not his script also. It's not just his script. Because there are some of us who, you know what, maybe my superpower is charisma or connection, or I can relate. I would want someone to be able to use that. And what the video interview does so far, what we're seeing, is that it takes the ability for that manager to have their personal power and effectiveness to influence the results. Part of why I think I get a 60+% show to training is not this great script, is because I can really connect with that level of talent. So the question Scott has is, why would we switch to an interview that gets 41 to 43% when some divisions are approaching closer to 50%? Right? And Scott's thought is, hey, it's different for someone like a Mike, let's say, who's trying to scale his business and run it, as a dad. I get that. But if I'm only recruiting for 8 to 10 launches, I go for the result. And I know some of you have learned the video interview from Mike. That's not a bad thing. But this is why the rest of the division, outside of what's happening inside Mike's office, is learning the scripted interview. Because it's already statistically a higher show, a pleasing result, not a pleasing method. But those of you that only know this interview, it's like, well, that's just what you do. And we run way less interviews than we used to back in the day. We don't even run 3 interviews in a day anymore. We used to run 3 and 4 interviews in a day. Pilot still does. So I'll stop there. Questions or comments? I know there are questions or comments on this one. Amanda, talk to me. We debriefed this in the summer.
Yeah, so I was running the video interview for the first half of my branch, and there was this point where I got 0 for 22 to show for training. So I went cross-training with Brian Roman and Joseph Cross, about to see them on some of their interviews, and I switched over to the live interview that they were running, and I ended off the summer with a versus like a 38% show to a 10% increase to a 48% show.
Right. And I also want to be careful, because you have to be careful with causation versus correlation, right? Because there are probably other factors in there. But if we already know running this interview gets a higher average than this one, let's start you with some wins. Now, some of you, if you don't know the video interview, then you don't know any different. I'll just give an example. So, Kirsten, do you have a question? Or someone had a question?
I was going to say correlation.
Yeah, okay. So we're on the same page. Any other questions or thoughts on that one? Okay.
I also do think, I have another comment to that, I'm sorry. I have an actual question and maybe a comment as well. Do you think that every single one of us should be running the same interview, or do you think that we should be running the interview that is best fitting to the way we operate in our personality?
We all run the same interview. It's the same script.
But I'm saying, I know the same script, but some people do full interviews, some people do video interviews.
Maybe, I don't know. My whole speech right now is that everyone's in the divisions can be on the live interview. Yeah. I'm just, what I'm doing is my whole example here is 2 things. Number 1, to defend Mike using the video interview. That's important. He's on the video interview, and I approved it, and he should be. But to also defend why everyone else who's not a dad to be, or soon to be, or family and married and trying to run that type of a business. If you're just running a branch office or getting things off the ground, new office, you run the live interview. And your personality can go in there. At what section, Eddie, you know this, what section do you really put your personality in?
Right there at the end about the team.
Yeah, that's where your charisma and your team and your ability to sell a story, that's where it comes into play. And of course, if you're really, charismatic or eloquent, you can connect really well in pre and post too. I get that too. Questions, comments? Okay, let me rapid fire through the rest and we'll go to break. Thanks for being patient on this one. Quality recruits, the hardest thing, Andrew Evans said this, the hardest part of our job is to create quality recruits. It's also the most rewarding and profitable part. So that doesn't change. I think our whole discussion's on that. My next thing is those people that actually did the EDGE plan and didn't, not just, I submitted it when it was due, but actually followed it, you can tell. Okay. Cut through college is strong. Now it seems like a whole bunch of negatives, right? Cut through college is stronger than ever. Vector trained is stronger than ever. In fact, the whole company is starting to adopt vector trained. I think vector trained is going to end up being like a national campaign coming out of Florida United. So nice job for you guys. Weekly staffer, who mentioned that? I think it was, who said planning out every single week? Was it me? It was Dalila. Dalila, did you talk about weekly numbers? Okay. That's still really important. And Eric's not here, but the managers that leveraged the reps to the DVM first weekend and got them on my radar early won big. And no one did it better. Grant later on in the summer, but from the beginning to the end, no one had their people connected to me faster and better than Eric Palacio. It was an art, and it wasn't even art. He said, "Yeah, just copy and pasted when they hit 1,000, and it's pretty easy and straightforward." Okay. Last two, and you're not gonna like this one. Personal selling was really, really awful. Again, personal selling was even down more. And you know what? Maybe I'm not empathizing, but if we're down for branch class average by $40,000. We didn't really understand. What else would you do? And we understand, yeah, but it's been a hard summer, but if you can control it, just food for thought and whatever we have to do with personal selling. And we could probably have a whole session on how do we improve personal selling. And the last thing is big three, intentional and journaling. Those of you that had proper morning routines going into the summer, right? There was just a difference in the people that didn't. It's the difference between the big three is cumbersome and I have to versus the big three helps me and I get to. It's the difference between I have to get up early and journal versus journaling helps me and puts me in the right place. It depends on how early you started. So I'm going to stop there. We can take 30 seconds before we're going to go to an extended break, and then I'm going to call a quick audible in just a second. So if you could take down your biggest 2 or 3 light bulbs from the session. I'm going to call on branches only on this one. Branches and Dom, I'm going to call Eddie on this one. And Luke. Biggest 2 or 3 light bulbs. If I've never run a branch, I'm at this meeting, I'm speaking to you right now. You guys are getting the goods. You guys are getting wisdom, not knowledge. But ready? We do this every year. So what's the difference? Energy and application. Work ethic and application. Work ethic and application. We should do another. You want to create a new acronym? Yet another Cutco acronym? Yeah.
Yes.
WEA.
I can't wait.
WEA. Work ethic, application. I'm not gonna do that. Actually, work ethic and application. WEA.
Where you at?
WEA.
How about that?
All right, let's go through. Kirsten. We'll start with Kirsten. Kirsten, Eddie, Dalila, quickly.
I think from everything we talked about, the biggest one that stuck out to me is the whole principle of being stuck and doing what you can to get out of it, like what you can control. And that goes for absolutely everything. Even, I don't mean to be deep, but like even in life. But when it comes to like doing what you can control and changing it, that's like the most important thing when you're running your own office and you have no one else to ask questions to and make immediate responses for. So
good. I'm glad that the stuck one's not just you, Kirsten. We're not singling you out. It's the whole branch class in general. We'll go Dalila and then Eddie to finish up tally.
Definitely a big thing is don't be too selective with recruits. I think that was huge. And also pleasing methods versus pleasing results really resonated with me.
and just not being too good to, go clipboard or go put out business cards or all of that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the back and I'm seeing Mike take notes, and I want to laugh with Mike and Carlos. That's the business we grew up under. Guerrilla marketing. Mike, remember that? Guerrilla marketing? What was the last time we talked about guerrilla marketing? How did Red Bull get started? Guerrilla marketing. Low cost, high energy advertising. Going to campuses where they wanted to target the young people they wanted to sell the Red Bull product to from Europe, and hand out flyers, because that was a lot less money than big time advertising. And who don't know Red Bull and vodka? You know what I mean?
I love you.
Sorry. Speaking of Red Bull vodka, Eddie, go ahead. What's that called? That's called a Y bomb, right? They call that a Y bomb.
Yep. No, that's me.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Kind of same thing. It's not education, it's application, but where you can educate yourself on the numbers and being aware of what the numbers are, knowing what you can control, and then when you see what the patterns are, it just doesn't come down to like being super amazing at any one thing, but it's giving it, doing it what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and understanding that. And coming back to like full faithful, that was just kind of crossed my mind when we were talking about the video interview. And, for a second, I contemplated it, but more and more I think about it, I would never go to a video interview just because I'm so great with myself when it comes to just a live interview.
I'm so great.
I'm comfortable with it for 2 years of doing it.
Yeah. But I also want to be careful. This is where I have to defend the video interview. There's a place for the video interview. Okay. I just don't think there's a place for. Right. I just don't think there's a place for it right now when we have proven higher averages for an office that only has 8 to 10 weeks to recruit. That's my thought. Right?
Yeah. Putting the numbers and working hard.
Yeah. Very smart business people. Smart business people go to where the averages are higher, not lower, regardless of method. So okay, let's go over to Grant. Do we have Grant? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. My headphones won't connect to my computer, so I have it on my phone.
Yeah. No worries. You're good. You're good. No worries.
It's been a very interesting day so far. I just think, my biggest thing would probably be, go back to Old Faithful. I know I didn't set as many PRs as I more should have last year. I also know that I just wasn't in the mindset that I am now, and I'm very excited for this summer. It's gonna be. I resisted a lot and struggled through, and now it's a lot less resistance, a lot more let's run to the wall.
Yeah, it's really exciting and scary to see a Grant Strayer like this applied to an office. So it's exciting. Nice. Me likey. How about we'll go to Luke, and then we'll go over here to Miss Maggie, and then we'll go to extended break, and then I'll tell you the rest of the schedule.
Yeah, two biggest ones are, three biggest ones. Say, go back to Old Faithful, PR program, when in doubt, start bread and butter. Then I'd say, the oh hell no, have your standards in place. I think one thing I heard on an Ed Milet podcast was, you're always going to operate at the minimum standard that you set for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, so everyone always just naturally operates at the lowest level of acceptance that they'll have, and that's something for your personal life as well as your business. If you're struggling in other areas, have those oh hell no moments and have the high standards.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just the stats on the video interview. Never seen those. So good to see them.
Yeah. It's compelling.
Did you do Amanda?
Oh, Amanda and Zach, and then we'll go to Maggie. No.
Amanda. She's coming up.
Oh, you come in front and center. Go ahead.
So, for me, it was just the oh hell no type of thing.
Hail snow.
Amanda, you say that so well.
Oh hell no.
I ran South Richmond branch.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, basically just making sure that the red flags for when you have under 10 set in training, under 5K new business, and 40 PRs for the cycle, and just making sure you're on top of 2,000 threats on the benchmarks and staying on pace.
You're also another one when we put you back out this way. My gosh. All of you. Man. Shakta. It's to check the roll.
Yeah, he's watching Carlos's interview.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we talked about that. Cool. Let's wrap up with Maggie, and then I'm gonna send you to break.
Okay. So mine would be similar to Dalila, the pleasing method versus pleasing results. There's, including myself, a lot of things that I should have done better, but I didn't do it. I just want to do it more like an easier, more comfortable way that I should have just put myself out of my comfort zone.
Out of my
waking
comfort
up
zone.
at 5.
Who knew that one? Who would have thought? Okay. We are at 10:52. The original schedule had us going until 12:30, which I think we definitely could take the full time, but I don't think I'm going to try not to. So let's do this. Let's take an extended break, and what we'll do after the break, just to prepare, it's 10:53. Let's take another 10 minutes, and what we'll do is we'll end by 11:30 instead of 12:30. Does that work? Let's end at 11:30. Then that way Luke can get to game day. I mean, what we can do is get well, we'll end at 11:30, but here's what we're going to do. It'll give you an extended time because I need you guys back at your hubs to help prepare for the walk-in. So it's 11:30. I need you guys back here by 1. So I have an hour and a half to get lunch, get refreshed. I have some prep I want to do. The most important thing we're going to do to end this is I want to set tone for the syllabus for our next level calls moving forward. Cool. All right. It is now 10:53. Let's say 08. 108.
11:08.
11:08.
108.
Or 108. 11:08. 11:08. Sorry. Thanks, guys. Mute. wrap up with Mike on this one.
I'm gonna go with coaching calls, PCs for alliance, driving phone jams, and steroids. So.
I'm sorry. David distracted me because he didn't mute the YouTube. So whoever is watching this portion of YouTube is screwed. It's not necessary. One more time, Grant.
No. Like coaching calls, as in like almost PCs not in a push, PCs to set up the push, driving phone jams and steroids.
Okay. Mr. Abramowitz, is he there?
Yeah, so the ones that I wrote down while we were talking, I don't know if you have them up there already, but I have PSPs, I have first weekend coaching, I have benchmark coaching, I have rep driven, advanced training 1, effectiveness, I got developing twigs and a key staff program.
Okay. Those are good. Now, ready? I want everyone to hear the list one more time and see if there's anything else that you're missing that you might want to throw in there. And then
what PDI demo tracking?
We'll put the PDI demo tracking. Yeah, it's really funny. This is my like diabolical way to find out what you didn't do this summer.
Demo management, just overall demo management system.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to read through. Okay. As of right now, here are the winners. Receptionist program, 5-star interview, PDI and coaching, event-to-event management, setting up push weeks, and phone jam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's what we have. Then there's expenses, WhatsApp, fire number, setting up Champions Club / rep targeting, days 4 through 10 PPR, the big talks and training, PSP, rep driven, AT1. Keep in mind, we are going to review AT1 in the spring, but I'm not saying we can't make it on the list. PSPs, a lot of these we will review at some point, but I'm saying if we have extra time on these calls, these would be the topics. Key staff, PCs in general, non-push. Doing the job culture, Facebook program like efficiency, PDI and coaching in general, like Eddie talked about, weekly planning for yourself, event-to-event management, setting up the alliance and push, phone jam execution, and PDI / demo management and tracking. Okay. I'd like you to go through that list. David, picture, post it. And then everyone's going to get 8. You have to pick 8. You have to pick 8. Unless there's any other topics you think we're missing, these are good. This is a pretty sick agenda. Okay, so I want same order, and I want you to pick 8, and I'm going to do a different color, and I'll have it all set up for you by Monday, and then we'll go to break here. So we'll go Amanda, Kirsten, Eddie, Galila. Give me your 8.
Definitely programs. I would say PDI, coaching calls, dental management systems, PSPs, PC in general, the setting up for alliance,
Two more.
Okay, 2 more. Definitely 5-star steroid, and Champions Club and 10K coach.
Okay. It's really interesting. For me, after what I just said, I would think everyone would say receptionist, but maybe you guys are comfortable with receptionist already. Yeah. Okay, we'll go Kirsten, Eddie, Dalila. Kirsten, give me 8. We're actually, you know what? How about this? Post it on Next Level group, everyone, and David's going to help me read off really quickly. But I want to, Kirsten, you can go now live, but Eddie, Dalila, Maggie, Luke, Mike, and Grant, pick your 8 and just post it for sake of time. And I can do this during the break, is what I'm saying. So just for you guys that are on this list. So Kirsten, Eddie, Dalila, Maggie, Luke, Mike, and Grant, post 8 you would pick. And then I'll formulate this during the break. I don't want to waste time here. And then we'll wrap up with, for those of you that are checking out YouTube here or rewatching this, we're just coming up with topics for the next level syllabus. But we are unmuted now.
I could give you gears.
I'll do it during the break. Yeah, thank you. Everyone posted? Everyone post their 8 from that group. And then, ready? If you have a conflict with Mondays from 6 to 7, shoot me a quick WhatsApp right now, one by one, 101. So if you have a conflict with Mondays 6 to 7, shoot me a quick text message. So if you are Amanda, Zach, Kier, Eddie, Daniela, Maggie, Luke, Mike, Carlos, Grant, post your 8 topics. And if you have a conflict, 101, shoot me a message about Monday, 6 o'clock.
This Monday or any Monday?
This Monday for now. Or I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I clarified in the text for mine that it was.
Yeah. You do the same thing, Erica. That would help me, please. Okay. I'm going to cover the rest of this agenda on the conference call just because the only one thing we'll wrap up here, and thanks for being patient, everyone. I do want to propose, now I don't want to mandate this, I want you to think about this till our call. We have our book review with TLA, right? We have 4 agreements, then we're diving into 1 Minute Manager, then we're diving into all the way to Olean, we dive into how to win friends and influence people. And then from there, we're diving into your best year ever, which is Mike's book to help plan in Q4 for the entire year of 2019. What I am proposing is that we also dive into some books that I personally am going to be diving back into just for next level. So here's what I'm proposing. There's a book that Scott gave out to all the district managers that I've been reading and having multiple discussions on called Positive Intelligence. Think of it as CBI, but with a different slant, okay? I'm actually going to unveil this to the district. So Mike and Carlos, you'll hear this ahead of time, but I'm going to put this as an assignment for our district team from this coming staff meeting to the next one. And if you remember from Scott's comments, everyone has these saboteurs inside our head that keep us from being and thinking and operating the highest, most efficient level. So there's a test you take. It's free. It's pretty awesome. If you've seen, has anyone read the book already?
I'm halfway done.
Yeah. So
it's fantastic.
Yeah. Do you want to guess what I am? What my number? The judge is the number 1 saboteur. My number 1 is far beyond. There's nothing even close. I'm a pleaser. I'm a pleaser. Yeah. I'm a pleaser. I'm a pleaser like 8.2.
I'm 10 for 2 of them.
And my next one is like 6. So anyway.
Yeah, Mila's just crazy.
I know.
Mila's an alien. So that would be one book. Per Mike Abramowitz request, we have a former Cutco alumni, Rachel Richards, who is now an Amazon bestseller, and she's got a book called Money Honey. Mike, can you give kind of the 30-second spiel pitch on Money Honey?
Yeah, it's Tony Robbins, Money Master of the Game, 600-page book. You knock it down to 150 pages and geared toward the millennial that teaches best practices for taxes, expense management, and how to invest. Very, very simple, and it's a very easy read. I read it in a bathtub in Vegas at P Banquet in like 90 minutes. So
yeah,
it's fantastic. And
I already started part of it. My favorite part is that half your expenses double your revenue, which is ironic because it's very important for our business too. I haven't read it exactly, but I was flipping through some of the material. So that would be another book. Managing Oneself was from last year, but I think it's important. And so I'm just curious, by show of hands, I also don't want to throw too much work onto you. You know, I don't think the other book review is hard, but I would be throwing another book at you. And it wouldn't be as frequent. So I'm just curious, by show of hands, who would be more likely down for an extra book? And this isn't like a test or anything. All right. Somebody with extra, a couple of you. Okay. So I'll unveil it on Monday. Let's do this very quickly. We'll go around live, and I want to hear everyone. Biggest takeaway, which you appreciate. Take 30 seconds to write it down, and you have at most 10 seconds to share. And then we're gonna go to break till 12:15. Till not 12:15, 1 o'clock. And we'll start here with Mila going through David, and we'll go over to virtual land. Mila, wrap us up. One takeaway, and what do you appreciate? 10 seconds. Go.
Biggest takeaway is being on the other side, having the first next level exposure and seeing what goes behind the scenes. And then what I appreciate is circle of influence.
Okay, Giovanni.
Biggest takeaway is pleasing methods versus pleasing results.
And what do you appreciate?
And I appreciate family.
All right, Maggie.
Pleasing methods versus pleasing results, and I appreciate the ability to be here live.
Good. Erica.
I would say the same, pleasing methods versus pleasing results. And yeah, appreciate being here for the first time live.
Good.
So I
1
won't
year
be
later.
yeah.
My biggest takeaway was develop people to be like you rather than search for people who are like you. And what I appreciate is my family.
Mastery of the programs that we have here in place. You know, a lot of what we see successful and our successful managers that they are masters of our current programs in place. What I appreciate is everyone.
There you go. We'll go to virtual now. We'll go to Naftali. We'll go to Josie. We'll go to Grant. And we'll go to game day.
What I appreciate is feeling better, and my biggest takeaway was the pleasing method versus pleasing results.
Okay, that's good.
This takeaway was education will get more success applying it does, and what I appreciate is football.
Yeah, you mean way ya. Work ethic and
Way ya.
application. Grant and then game day.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry, no phone based on that. Biggest takeaway is impact of PR as a receptive program. What I appreciate is our team.
There you go. Luke.
Pleasing methods, pleasing results, definitely the biggest one, and I appreciate Grant Strayer.
Yes, sir. Look at that. Let's go to Puerto Rico. Then we'll go to Tallahassee, and we'll wrap up in Tampa. We'll go Christina, Chewy, and then Patricia.
Was the things that we shouldn't do. And what I appreciate is just being part of this group and hearing firsthand from branches.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to the U. It's exciting to have you back for exporting. Good. We'll go to Chewy and then go Patricia.
So yeah, my takeaway would be results, and I appreciate you being here and working on myself to become the best version of myself.
Wonderful, wonderful. Patricia.
I think it's takeaway for not and what I appreciate is that it's our first prep and we're gonna have our new visitors.
There you go. We'll go to Tallahassee, go to Mike Sullivan, and then go all the way to Dalila quickly.
This is PRs, and I appreciate this group around me.
All right, Mason, then Kirsten.
Biggest takeaway is pleasing methods versus pleasing results, and I appreciate the value.
All right, we'll go Kirsten Ede.
Biggest takeaway is full and faithful and not matching but developing. And what I appreciate is Luke Vega.
Oh.
Appreciate you too, dog. Made me feel bad that I said just great.
Eddie.
The biggest takeaway is, when you're stuck, finding it, you're not too good for everything else. So find a way out. And just really what I appreciate is being consistent.
Yeah, good. We'll go Rob Dalila.
Biggest takeaway is to develop reps to what you want them to be, and then I appreciate the
Yeah, excellent. We'll go Dalila, and then we'll go over to Tampa to wrap up.
Biggest takeaway is going back to Old Faithful receptionists, and I appreciate how growth oriented.
Excellent. Let's actually go to the districts. We'll go back to David Vargas, and we'll go to Jackson. We'll wrap up in Tampa. David Vargas.
We got team, we gotta go. We got the whole team crew over here.
Biggest takeaway for me was just having the whole health numbers, and then I appreciate everybody here.
Okay, Jackson, then go to Tampa.
Biggest takeaway, we're people developing company company, not a people matching company. And what I appreciate is everybody here being on time and getting lunch soon.
Turn to the suite. We'll go to Tristan.
My biggest takeaway was a home moment, and then also do it on the company as well.
Excellent. Will, then Amanda.
The benchmark of setting 400 PRs, and I appreciate being together.
Yes, sir. We got a lot of oh hell no numbers, including that 400. Daniel, Amanda, Daniel, and then Sky.
No, that was my biggest takeaway. And we're very appreciative of being part of the Excel group.
There you go. Daniel, Skylar.
Biggest takeaway is pleasing methods versus pleasing results, and then what I appreciate is on the outside of the
All right, Skylar.
Biggest takeaway is pleasing methods versus pleasing results, and I appreciate that circle.
Outstanding. Michael, wrap us up.
Biggest takeaway for me was forcing me to look at on Vector Live some of the efficiencies on PRs. I'll talk about it during my talk a little bit later on today. And I still appreciate my staff stepping up to help us run a great business this fall, so that way I can be able to grow personally, professionally, and as a leader.
Outstanding. Hey guys, I thought we had an outstanding session. Thank you so much. It was great. Snaps. Hey, how about hard start? I really would like everyone back here not getting back by 1:15, but ready to greet people by 1:15. So for the hub leaders, for Carlos, Tally, and Tally Jackson, for Carlos, Mike, Tally, David, I'm going to send you a spreadsheet. And what you'll do is you'll just mark off the people who attend and check off their assignments when they come in. Okay, good luck to all of you. Those of you that have agreements to not be for the rest, have fun and enjoy. Go Gators, right? Who do you guys play? MSU?
Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky.
Kentucky, big game, big game.
Oh, jeez.
All right, I gotta run. Bye, guys.
Natalia, are you trying to wave? Bye. Are you trying to wave at me? Okay, bye. Everyone, bye. All right.
Bye, guys.